my laptop. I don't want to bog you down.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Harness Tube and racing from Cambridge, Illinois, the Henry County Fair. Today we'll have 9 races on tap for you in harness racing. Starting at noon, Steve Surratt,
David Brink,
Lisa Surratt, and
little guest photographer.
Jackie Bowen.
Mom's on camera. We were a little sure if Steve and Lisa were going to get here in time, so I brought Mom along and gave her a crash course on how to run a camera. So we're extra staffed today.
All right, that's a good thing that we have that on board, but we're glad that you're on board with us to watch Harness Tube and what's going on today from the Henry County Fair. As we get ready to go here, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back after these messages.
Hello, Earl Flack for your locally owned McKay Napa Auto Parts store. I'm always talking about savings, but why not? We're your local auto parts store. Yeah, I know you got choices, but those box stores, not local. How about some Napa antifreeze on sale for $8.99 for a full extended life? How about Napa full synthetic motor oil? 5-quart jug for $20.99. That's a 61% saving, or $4.49 by the quart. How about some Armor All leather car cleaner protectant, $5.49 for a container? Get the good stuff with Napa know-how.
ADI, located in Golden, is one of North America's largest pattern tiling installers. We've helped farmers create water management systems for over 40 years with pattern tiling across farm fields, generating proven data showing a boost in yield and greater profitability. Changing weather patterns do not have to cost you yield dollars anymore. Start with a free estimate now by calling your local ADI representative, David Lohman, at 309-280-2411 or by visiting our website at agdrainage.com.
Back with you on Harness Tube as we are at the fairgrounds here in
Henry County.
Cambridge,
Illinois.
And David, I don't understand what's going on with my PowerPoint, but we'll come right back to it. We'll see what does it here. There we go.
Whatever that was,
we can see as we put this side by side here with you. We want to talk to you about Backstretch. You can send us photos, comments, anything that you want to talk to us about. Favorite fair food, favorite horse, favorite trainer, favorite driver,
favorite memory, whatever.
Favorite announcer between David and I. You can send us anything you want to send us via harnesstube@gmail.com or on the internet. And so with that, we're glad that you're on board today with us. And I'm not hearing him at all, David.
I'm not either.
Okay. And so
I was.
Had to reschedule, but tip of the hat to the track crew. They've been out there working hard.
I must have shut the gains off when I got nervous. I was turning them too loud.
Okay, well, we'll let him talk for a few moments.
It's the last day of the fair, and it's one of the biggest days of the fair, and we're glad to have you with us. Harness racing here today, the kickoff fair for 2024 for the Northern Illinois Colt Association, featuring Illinois-bred performers that in many cases are getting ready for the Illinois State Fair, the DuQuoin State Fair, and the Night of Champions later this year. A lot of big racing on the horizon. We'll take a look shortly at the early program changes. Again, good to have you with us on a beautiful day to go racing.
All right, back with us. Let's talk about the backstretch again. And we may have had some echo out there that I think I took care of. The yellow buttons here with the reverb
We can
on
go ahead and blame me on that when I set up the equipment today. So
No, there's no blame there.
I'm
Some of
taking
those
it, trust
knobs
me.
get turned, and that may have been what happened to us down at DuQuoin, because I noticed we get a little reverb back there. And so from the backstretch, and we've got pictures that people have sent us prior.
Some really cool photos, people watching from back home or maybe back in their stable have sent us in some photos. And, we like sharing those with our fans because I think you all like seeing each other, where you're at watching. And we enjoy, hanging out together, watching the races. So
And these are just some of the pictures that we've got going on here that are just absolutely fantastic. We love getting those. The nursing homes having a watch party. We've got horses watching out there in barns and different environments.
I was watching the wrong monitor again. I'm used to.
Yeah,
I was looking up there.
That's
I'm like,
live, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, this is delayed. This is a live one.
Yeah, you'll be about 30 seconds behind on that one.
I'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, these pictures are great. We have photos here. I think that's from Tyler Stephen Clemens down in Oak Grove, and his stables watching right there in the barn, and his horses hanging out looking too. You know, how cool is that?
Yeah, so send those memories. Send us things out there that you've got going on that you just want to send us. Random, you can do the chat on YouTube too, and David will be checking those messages out here for us today.
I think we figured out a way to accidentally to highlight some of those chats. So if you got something really cool in the chat, we might be able to throw it up on the screen for you.
All right. Well, David, with that, any beautiful day today. The storm came through last night. I don't know how much rain they got up here. I was kind of expecting with the thunderstorms that we might have a delay today, but the track seems to be in really good shape.
You're absolutely right. And the way up here, I kept looking over to the west and like, Mom, up northwest, it's getting pretty dark and cloudy, but we're up here. It's a nice breeze. It's sunny. It's gorgeous. I think they got like 3 tenths last night, maybe. The track's got some dust on it. I think there's a water truck just went right behind me, so they're putting water on the track already. We have a nice, hot, fast track today. As
Lisa and Jackie are going to be the camera, they've got that water truck coming around the track.
That's a delay, remember?
Yeah, about 30-second delay. He's in turn 1 now. But we're glad that you're with us. Want to thank our sponsors out there. We can't do this and have it free to the public without our sponsors. With that, we'll take a break for our sponsors here for just a moment.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166. A Rustic Garden ships home and garden accents coast to coast, right from its location in Mount Sterling. The folks there customize each sale by painting unique and vintage colors to match the look of the home or flower garden. They also do wrought iron fencing. How long does that last? 100 years? 200 years? Who knows how long wrought iron fencing will last? Shop www.arusticgarden.com and get it shipped directly to your front door.
Make plans now to attend the 25th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century, including reigning Illinois Divisional Champions On Higher Ground and Scorecard Dandy. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 2nd at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong. Driver change on the 6 Secret Party, Tony Farina. Number 6 Secret Party, Tony Farina, Farina, the driver. And on 7, Captain Nate, Gabe Wand. Number 7, Captain Nate, the driver, Gabe Wand, joins us from his home in Wisconsin today. 3rd race. The driver of the 2, Lou of I, is Wyatt Avenatti. That's in the 3rd race, number 2, Lou of I, the driver, Wyatt Avenatti. Race 4. The driver of the 1, YF Rocket, Gabe Wand. Race 4, number 1, YF Rocket, Gabe Wand is the driver. Scratch the 4, YF Lucky. Number 4, YF Lucky, scratched. Race 5. Driver for the 2, UC Annie, Michael Cox. That's race 5, number 2, UC Annie, the driver, Michael Cox. The driver of the 4, Sumstar Sandy, Gary Rath. That's race 5, number 4, Sumstar Sandy, Gary Rath. Race 6. Driver of the 5, Michelle's Girl Crush, Gary Rath. That's race 6, number 5, Michelle's Girl Crush. Gary Rath is the driver. 7th race, driver of the 2, Hope Starlene, Freddie Patton Jr. That's the 7th race, number 2, Hope Starlene, make the driver Freddie Patton Jr. No changes in race 8. 9th and final race, driver to be announced for the 2, Scorecard Lily. That's in the 9th and final race, driver to be announced for number 2, Scorecard Lily. Those are the changes as they currently stand.
Hi, Tina. How are you? Good. Certainly not.
Got the pics there for you on the cheat sheet.
Okay.
Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Now, is home for you still?
All right, David, back with our thing here. We do, as we say, we can't do this without our sponsors, and some of our sponsors are out there, and we'll have the race driver changes for you here as we go along today. David Brink, Steve Surratt, Jackie Bowen, Lisa Surratt, got a full crew here today to do the best job we can. You'll notice David's typical county fair harness racing. There is some blockage, just like the people have in the stands from wherever they're at. That's going to happen because of what happens in the infield with the county fair. And that's something that we just really can't avoid.
We had half an idea to set up a second camera, but I don't think it's going to happen today. But, you know, like we just said, when you're in the grandstand, it's the view you got. It's the view you got, so it's kind of what we got to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't make a camera go 360 degrees unless it's all battery operated. And I tell you what, there's glitches with that,
Yeah,
folks.
well, do not want to trust batteries on anything when we're supposed to be live.
Yeah, and so that's what's going on. I mean, if this hadn't been a Sunday, I flew up here. My arms are tired. I'm a pastor. I got us out 15 minutes early today because it was the start of a new sermon series, and flew out of Mount Sterling and just barely got up here.
Well, I know we appreciate you flying and getting here safely. We'll say that.
Yeah, and so a lot of the backstretch, from what I'm seeing from the camera, you're going to have some difficulties in the backstretch. There's going to be slots that you're going to see. And so
yeah,
just
the experienced horseman, your eye kind of follows that horse's trajectory and velocity. So you kind of watch in the right spot when you see him pop between the grandstands and the judges' stand. You know where to look. But if you're new to harness racing, you're not really sure what you're looking at. You just do your best. We'll try to keep him in the center of the camera for you.
And Lisa and them normally do a really good job of keeping it to where you can see the parts that you can see. And so forth. Again, we're kind of cramped also up here in the judges' stand to be able to put a camera up and
there was the bottom, the downstairs is open. There's two ways.
So we could have went down. So we could have went down there and put the camera.
You were like
here.
5 minutes from here, and I realized that we should have probably set up down there.
Hey,
it might have been hot, but we'd have been all the space to spread out and whatnot.
Yeah.
So next year.
Yeah, or we could have went outside. It's nice outside.
Man, I'm telling you, an outdoor setup wouldn't be bad some of these days.
Yep.
A nice tent.
Yeah, we could have brought that. But with that, I want to talk about our schedule here. We're in Camden, Cambridge today. I got to get where I'm going. And then the next Sunday, we're in Rushville for a 5 p.m. Time.
Yeah, post time.
And then about a week and a half later, we're in Knoxville at 5 p.m. And then we start getting kind of heavy after that.
Well, I forgot to hit the go live button here on this thing because I was talking to, we have Tim Searle in the judges stand with us, and he was asking about maybe if we could maybe make it to the Henry Fair, or I should say the Marshall Putnam Fair in Henry, Illinois. That's the 14th. So we'll look at that day, see if we can add it in there too. I think that's a Sunday maybe, but that might be the problem. Is it a noon post? Yeah, something like that. So
yeah, I'm not sure what the
we're looking at all these things where people want to add a date. If you have a date you'd like to add into our schedule, just reach out to us if we can fit it in somehow. We're getting a little more brave doing that sort of thing. So, but we still have some limitations, the obligations. I have a job. Steve's the pastor. We have things we got to do. So
we've got that coming up, and then things just kind of all turn loose about around the 15th. And then the end of July, we go hot and heavy.
We had
for
3
over
weeks.
a week.
Yeah, middle of July to the 10th of August or something.
5th of August.
5th of August.
And so we've got that going on. So those are our races that we have out there available. A total of 21 right now on the card for this season with Harness Tube. And so we're glad to be on board. We're going to give our sponsors some more time here. We'll be back after these messages.
Driving school, it was exciting from the get-go. Dot recruited out of my truck driving school. The job was everything I was hoping it would be, and then some. My weeks absolutely fly by. When my life needed fulfillment, I took the wheel.
Timewell Drainage Products is a locally owned family company that has provided incredible employment opportunities in our area for over 40 years. Our constantly growing company is always looking for dynamic individuals who want to be part of an innovative, fast-paced team. To join our team, visit us online at timewellpipe.com. Timewell Drainage Products, a proud community employer since 1982.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
Back with you on Harness Tube. As we get ready to go here, we'll go back to our side-by-side and talk about subscribing. If you subscribe, David, when are we doing this drawing?
I think I have it ready, but we have to feed in my HDMI into the broadcast today. But we have the wheel of contestants ready to spin, so that's one thing that I wanted to add in, but we'll see if we can get it in today.
All right. Well, I think we got people up here that will trust our drawing and what we're doing with that. But, again, you need to like or subscribe to us. We're going to have a drawing today for a $100 certificate. Tell them about the certificate, David.
Yeah, we have a $100 gift certificate to Design by Des. That's a small business owned by Desiree Siekman, wife of Travis Siekman. A lot of you know horseman. She's an Illinois horseman herself, but she has a custom apparel and custom, design shop. And I tell you what, she's getting into doing helmets
once
lately.
Again, welcome to the final day of the Henry County Fair, 165 years strong. And today we present Northern Illinois Colt Association Harness Racing. We welcome you on behalf of the NICA President, Michelle Manier-Searle, and our Speed Superintendent, David Brooks. Should be a wonderful day to go racing. 9 races lined up for your entertainment. And again, a lot happening all across the grounds here today. In just a moment, we'll call the horses to the track for today's first race. In fact, horsemen, you may come to the track for race 1, the NICA 2-year-old filly Pace, RK's Mac, Showstop and Jenica, Captain's Magic, Lily Bella, It's Somewhere, PD's Rum Runner, and Halftime Show. Before we get underway with today's program, it's good to welcome back our own Danny Brooks. She joins us for our pre-race ceremonies. She will present our national anthem. We ask at this time that you would please rise as you are able for our pre-race ceremonies. And now we will turn things over to Danny.
Hi everyone. Before I get started with the national anthem, I just want to take a moment of silence for Miss Harper Finn, who we lost last year at one of our county fairs, and all the rest of the fellow horsemen who may have passed in our recent years as well. Thank you. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Danny Brooks with our national anthem. And Danny, thank you so much. And one note to pass along, when you heard Danny mention Harper Finn in our pre-race ceremonies, we spoke to Harper's father, Richard Finn, just a couple of days ago. And Richard and his wife, Bethany, have begun a foundation called Harper's Foundation. And the intent of the foundation is to provide assistance to parents who unexpectedly lose a child. There will be a website up and running soon. In the meantime, horsemen and race fans, if you're interested in further information, just talk to Richard Finn. He will be out and about at the fairs this summer, and he'd be happy to talk to you about Harper's Foundation.
We also have one more surprise for you guys. The entire...
Okay, David, let's talk about the first race here. There's no changes in this first race, correct? Is that correct, David?
What'd you say?
Race 1, no changes in race 1, correct?
I don't know. I think we might have missed them, but we'll go with it. And if I hear them, I'll add them in.
I thought he said no changes in race 1. And so with that, let's talk about our picks out here in race 1. It looks like a gamut of picks here by everybody. You picked number 4, Lily Bella.
Lily Bella. That's the one I've had my eye on. Freddie's Patton's. Remember I said was getting better every start and finally won? Mm-hmm. She made one more start at Springfield and finished a nice 4th, pacing 2-2 last quarter and 29 flats, so I put her on top.
And RK Smack 2nd and 3rd. You picked the 3-horse Captain's Magic. On my picks for today, it looks like I picked the 5-horse. It's Somewhere, followed by RD's Rum Runner, and then number 4 for 3rd place for me. I picked Lily Bella for the 3rd spot. Lisa, on the other hand, she flip-flopped my picks on 1 and 2, and she went with with PD's Rum Runner in that front spot.
I'm pretty sure Lisa's just picking driver's win percentage at these fairs anymore. She went Wyatt, Jamaica, Freddie. I mean, that's about as good as it gets.
Well, that's about what I did because we didn't have the whole...
I didn't get to it?
You didn't get
I'm sorry.
Yeah, David Brink's trying to bring her and win all these by not giving us all the information. So Lisa's picking by drivers and so forth. It might even by the horse's name. Who knows with her how she's picking her horses. But that's how it looks out of the beginning as we get ready for the first race here. David, you're in front of the board, so I'm going to let you switch for race time when we switch over to the full camera.
I'll do race times in split seconds.
Okay. All right. That sounds great as we get ready to go here with harness tube.
Nice shot of the grandstand there. Love seeing packed grandstands.
And just an absolutely beautiful day out here. We'll get Kurt back on.
The ambulance is on the grounds, positioned just off the top of the home stretch. Starting gate has gone through its test paces here, and we are ready to go. Let's meet the starters for the first of our 9 races at the Henry County Fair at Cambridge. Again, this fair, 165 years strong. That is incredible, and harness racing has been a featured part of it for many, many years. Race 1, the first Northern Illinois Colt Association race of the 2024 campaign, thanks to J.F. Edwards Construction Company in Geneseo, the presenting sponsor. Number 1 is RK's Mac. Owned by Dennis Wright of Charleston, Mitch Titus of Charleston, trained by Roshan Trigg, Laderick Huggins in the bike. 2, Showstoppin' Jenica, is owned by Jacob Radel of Edgewood, trained and driven by Cornelius Cabot. 3 is Captain's Magic, owned by Steve Searle of Grant Park, Brian Code of Bradford, James Nellinger of Peoria, and owned also by Einfeld of Illinois, with Steve Searle, the trainer, and Casey Leonard is in the race bike. 4, Lily Bella, owned by Willie Scott, Raymond, Mississippi, trained and driven by Freddie Patton Jr. Number 5, It's Somewhere, owned by Marquesta McAllister, Garrison, Texas, Jamaica Patton, your trainer driver. 6, PD's Rum Runner, owned by A Piece of the Action, LLC, of Perry DeLuna of Culver City, California, trained by Kevin Miller and the driver Wyatt Avenatti. 7 is Halftime Show, owned by Gary and Catherine Rath of Marengo. The trainer is Gary Rath and the driver Gary Rath, as we head to the gate for the first race for a purse of just over $3,200.
We've got to have some changes I didn't see. Oh, maybe not.
A reminder, today's races are being shown via live stream on Harness Tube. Just go to youtube.com and in the search field enter Harness Tube. Tune in to the broadcast today, as Steve Surratt and David Brink will anchor the broadcast, and Lisa Surratt helping man the video camera in the grandstand right across from the infield judges stand. We are set to go for the first race. Programs, if they haven't arrived already, should be en route to the grandstand very soon as we get ready to go with the first race. Folks, good to have you with us on a beautiful Sunday afternoon at the Henry County Fair. Here they come. Starter is Roy Finn, Stacy DeRoos at the steering wheel. They send the field on their way, and the Northern Illinois Colt Association is underway for 2024. They are off and pacing. Arcase Mack comes out for the early lead. Showstoppin' Jenica comes away down toward the inside as they move off the first turn and head toward the backstretch as the side-by-side battle for the lead shapes up as Lily Bella moves up as they head off the first turn and up the backstretch to take a narrow lead as they head toward the quarter-mile station. As the field starts to straighten out around down the backstretch, Lily Bella now will back up into the 4th spot. Opening quarter will be posted here in just a moment as the field heads by for that first quarter. Lily Bella to the top off the opening panel as they head around that far turn for the first time. 31 seconds, time for the first quarter, 31 seconds flat. So by the time it all straightens out, Lily Bella has made the top by a length and a half. Arcase Mack is racing second, a length and a half. Captain's Magic is traveling in 3rd position as the field comes on down to the half-mile mark. Great to have everyone with us on a picture-perfect Sunday afternoon. Danny Brooks, trackside, already snapping an action photo in the first race, and Lily Bella moves up on the outside now from 4th to 3rd to 2nd, a length off the lead. 103-1 was the time for the first half mile. 103-1. Showstoppin' Jenica continues to show the way. Lily Bella is inching forward again. Tried for the lead early, backed off into 4th. Now has moved back up into 2nd around the outside of Arcase Mack, who's in 3rd position. Captain's Magic is still back in 5th. In the meantime, PD's Rum Runner goes by that one into 4th as they head past the 3/4. And then Halftime Show, It's Somewhere, is the distant trailer, racing 7th and last as they head around the final turn. Here's Lily Bella one more time, moving up on the outside of Showstoppin' Jenica. 1:35 was the time at the 3/4, and in fact, it's going to shape up about a 4-wide scramble for the lead and for the win. Lily Bella has a narrow lead off the turn. Showstoppin' Jenica is right there to the inside. PD's Rum Runner and Arcase Mack all up close as well, but in deep stretch, Lily Bella in front. Lily Bella with the lead, and Lily Bella finally pulls it out of the fire, wins it by a length and a half. PD's Rum Runner was home 2nd. Arcase Mack with a good effort was 3rd. Showstoppin' Jenica dropped back to finish 4th after setting the early pace, and then it was Captain's Magic in the 5th position, followed further back by Halftime Show in 6th, and It's Somewhere was 7th in the opener. 2:04.4 was the time for the mile. 2:04 4/5 of a second. Lily Bella, with an incredible scramble at the top of the stretch, emerges with the lead in deep stretch and wins the opener for Freddie Patton Jr.
All right, here we go, folks. The end of the first race, and David Brink, I believe, picked that right out of the gate, didn't you?
I got Lily Bell. I don't think I put PD's drum runner in there, but
You were a little off on that. Lisa and I, neither one got the winner, but
I got the winner and the third place horse right. So
Lisa got the second place horse right.
Wyatt just snuck in there on me, but a great race. That Lily Bell has really kind of been. I've had my eye on her all summer long. Freddie's done a great job with her, and he's starting to race her a little more aggressive, and she's showing she can take it. So it's nice to see him get a big win out there.
Absolutely, and a great race to start out with on a great day. 9 races on the card, so 1 down and 8 to go here. With that,
and if you keep a keen eye, watch the winner's circle, because sometimes this year I've seen Jordan Patton and Cornelius Cavett out there with Freddie Patton Jr., their father, in the winner's circle, and they just look so proud of the old man. So I don't know if I think Cornelius was in this race, but I don't know if Jordan's here or not.
The other thing that we noticed down in DeCoin, and it's happened in other places too, you've got these horses
in the first race
so
today, number 4, Lily Bella, left alertly, settled back to the inside in 4th, and then rallied up on the outside as they headed up the backstretch to the 3/4 and kept on moving and grinds out a win in the first race in our first Northern Illinois Colt Association event of 2024. J.F. Edwards Construction Company. They date back to the 1940s. Business has been with us for many years, doing a great job based in Geneseo, and they are the sponsor for the first race today.
Mike Cox,
as
Lily Bella
Tony Farina
comes home with the victory. Lily Bella is a filly that is owned by Willie Scott of Raymond, Mississippi, and trained and driven by Freddie Patton Jr., who is a native of Clinton, Mississippi. How about a hand for the winner of the first race, number 4, Lily Bella. A quick note, horsemen, for those of you in the second race, stand by. Horsemen, if you would, please wait in the stable area. There is an issue with the starting gate that is being addressed, so if you would, horsemen, stand by. We will update you in just a moment. So there's the winner of the first race, taking the J.F. Edwards Construction Company event. Hello, Freddie Patton Jr. Congratulations, sir, with that victory. The winning 2-year-old filly is by Valentino out of Belladonna by His Majesty, was bred by the late Mary Lee Jeffers and her daughter Adele Jeffers Everett. Those Jeffers-bred horses are off to a good start this summer. Lily Bella has already won twice this year, and in fact takes a new lifetime record today, 204 and 4/5. So to Adam Brooks and the track conditioning gang, job well done. Well, here's the full field rundown for the first race. It is official for the opener. Arcase Mac finished 3. Showstoppin' Jenica finished 4. Captain's Magic was 5. Lily Bella was the winner. It Somewhere was 7. PD's Rum Runner, the runner-up, and Halftime Show was 6. The opening quarter in 31 flat. The first half mile was 103 and 1. 3/4 in 135, and the time for the mile 204 and 4/5. Reads down 345, 172, 6. Again, horsemen, stand by for race 2. We'll update you in just a moment.
All right, David, back with you on this. We'll take Kurt down for a second. Let's talk about the backstretch. We hit on that a little bit, but you can give us something from the backstretch just by emailing us at harnesstube@gmail.com. Call David or send David a text. Don't call him. We're on the air. 312-772-5122. That's 312-772-5122. Or you can chat with us on YouTube. With that, we'll take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages.
ADI, located in Golden, is one of North America's largest pattern tiling installers. We've helped farmers create water management systems for over 40 years with pattern tiling across farm fields, generating proven data showing a boost in yield and greater profitability. Changing weather patterns do not have to cost you yield dollars anymore. Start with a free estimate now by calling your local ADI representative, David Lohman, at 309-280-2411 or by visiting our website at agdrainage.com.
North of the fair office in the grass
It's
lot
what?
between the livestock
Didn't hear
buildings
anything we
next
said,
to the
so we can-
volleyball tournament. So that should be a lot of fun. It is the Henry County Fair Tug of War scheduled to get underway
All right, back
at
to our
1 p.m.
back to our picks again real quick because
Also, this update regarding the truck and tractor pull.
back with that. David picked a 7-horse. Captain Nate, he likes that horse, likes the lineage of that horse. So if you want to do a quick wrap on that again.
Yeah, I just was mentioning how that's a Jay DeLong horse. Jay bred and trained and owns this thing, and Jay breeds quality horses, races quality horses. I like the breeding on this thing. He keeps them sharp. Last mile running aces, paced the last quarter in 28-1. So I had to use that horse on top. And of course, Gabe Wand in the bike doesn't hurt at a county fair.
Okay, and then you followed with the 2-horse, Captain Coon Dog, followed by
Some hack somewhere.
Some hack somewhere. I picked the 3-horse, which is Fort Perry, driven by Wyatt Evanetti, followed by the 5-horse, Jimmy DeShark. And then in the 3rd spot, it's Major Carl Bombay. And then Lisa picked a 5-horse, Jimmy DeShark, driven by Mike Cox. It was originally by Jamaica Patton. Get to go back to confirmation. She went by Driver Coleman.
Yep.
The 3-horse, Fort Perry. And then the 2-horse, Captain Coondog. And so those are our picks going into those races. We'd be interested if you wanted to send us a message on the chat about what your picks are, and we can bring those out.
It's good to see some of the Chicago horsemen down here. We're up north today. See Gary Rath, Steve Serrell, Casey Leonard. These guys are champion drivers, been doing it for a long time, have a lot of accolades behind their name. To get up in their neck of the woods and see them banging around these county fairs, I love to see it. I love to see these horses experience new sights and sounds. It's all exciting and everything's new.
All right, we'll go back with our track
Wand.
announcer.
Number 7, Captain Nate, driver Gabe Wand.
I'd be interested. He calls us the front runner out there. What Randy Callahan's picks are for the day?
Yeah,
if he's out there watching us today.
He's in the chat. He must have noticed we were down. He said, "You guys there?"
Yeah. Occasionally we forget to bring it back up. Doggone commercials getting away.
I had somebody asking me what the line is. What should I tell them? Like here to this?
This pole on the side of
this leaning one?
This tall electrical pole on the right side of the judge's stand.
Okay. The far right of the judge's stand?
That pole right there.
Okay. Well, we can't. It's a bad view, but we'll deal with it. I mean, they'll deal with it. We're happy.
All right, David talking, so you know where the finish line is. We've got viewers asking about that.
Had Orville in the chat over here asking where the finish line was. I'll try to type it in the chat, but just conferring with the officials here, the far end towards the first turn of the judges' stand, there's a big electrical pole. That's what they're using today, it seems to be. So we're not exactly on the line with our camera. We're slightly off, but there is a photo finish, and they're right on the spot, so they should get all the close calls for us.
All right.
Still waiting on the starting gate, I think. I see all the horses milling around in the third turn.
How we doing, guys, on the gate?
All right. With that, a little dead air time right now, but we'll talk about the backstretch. Again, you can do like a lot of people are doing here, and sometimes you catch us when we forget to bring the commercials up, and we're thankful for that. So, let us know when we forget to do that on occasion, because we're doing several things up here between the two of us.
We try. Randy Callahan's jumping in the chat now. He's got his picks.
Oh, he's got his picks?
He's going 2-1-7.
2 Captain Coondog. 2-1 and some hack somewhere. And then Captain Nate in that third spot.
Yep.
Okay. What did you say it was?
We'll keep you honest, Randy. 2-1-7. Let's see if I can do this and just. I don't know what I'm doing.
Did he just pick an area code there? 217 area code? That's what he's going by? 309 won't work.
No.
There's not 9 horses
not
in
at
any
the
race
county
and no
fairs.
zeros. As they continue to work on that gate.
Cool. We should see Randy's pick popping up. So, yeah, send in your picks in the YouTube chat. We have the ability to go ahead and throw them up on the broadcast for you so we can all see who's picking what and keep them accountable.
Okay.
The wind's blowing up here.
Okay, so you got at least one quart you're putting in. Hopefully that does it.
All right.
Send Dave Brooks or
As
one of
they
his associates to go get another bottle.
get ready to go here, the horses are plenty warm.
Yeah, the horses are doing all right out there.
Um,
We got some time here, and I think we have a horseman crowd, so I'll give a little anecdote on the way up here. This might go over your head, Steve, but I'll say it anyway. Just bear with me, okay? On the way up here today, I was driving Mom, and we passed through a really small town 20 miles outside of here called Andover, Illinois. It wasn't a couple hundred people or so, and those of you who are horsemen will get this joke. I looked at Mom, and I said, I wonder if they have a city hall here in Andover. It wasn't 2 seconds out of my mouth. She goes, well, right there's Andover City Hall. Andover Hall is a world champion sire from up in Canada, I think, from 30 years ago, probably, no, maybe not 20 years ago. But it's just so funny to see that and kind of laugh. And so
there goes that eclectic David Rink humor.
Well, especially with horse related, I get kind of nerdy about it.
Yeah.
Update from our starter is that the mechanical issue with the gate, they believe they are close to having it resolved. So horsemen, hopefully in just another couple of minutes or so, will be ready to get back underway. While we have a chance, I know a number of folks, including a number of horsemen, join us through our friends at Harness Tube and tune in to watch the races here at the Henry County Fair, and to mention that because of the fact that Sam Hodgett is one of the folks who joins us online today, and wanted to say hello to Sam, 88 years of age, a native of Sheffield, and Sam is someone who raced a lot of horses through the Northern Illinois Colt Association, raced at the Quad City Downs in East Moline. As a driver, he won well over 200 races, and his mounts winning well over $300,000 in purses. So good to have Sam Hodgett joining us online today.
As Kurt said, we're still waiting for the gate to be fixed and back out there. Again, a beautiful day to be out here, and we want to encourage you to go to county fairs. Just don't watch it on YouTube, on Harness Tube, but also get out to your county fairs, the local fairs that you've got close to you.
There's so much stuff going on. We pulled in this morning 9 a.m., and there was a sand volleyball tournament, and it looked like this fairgrounds was packed with people. I mean, how much fun can you have on a Sunday morning? You get out of church, you come here, you hit sand volleyballs around, and nice breezy day. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
They had another horse show going on over in the show rink over on the other side. And,
this morning,
and that was going well. There's lots of things to do at the county fair.
I think I see a scissor lift over there above the show arena, so maybe they're getting really creative with their filming, videography.
Well, I don't know. The one show rink that I was looking at was over here, the horseback riding. So I don't know what's going on over here. It looks like that may be going down now. But
I can't tell.
Who can tell?
We got Scott Nance in the chat. Scott's been following the streaming all year long from both us and Trot and Pace. He's been very active in the chats. We love seeing his picks, and I'll try to throw them up on the screen if I can remember to, Scott. And Randy's up. Of course, Randy's in there.
Yeah, he's a 217.
Randy, we will not be at Newton tomorrow. We talked about it. I couldn't get off work, unfortunately, but we are talking this year about maybe trying to add in more dates next year and get more coverage, and maybe training some newbies up who can travel. We had very fortunate to have Scott Beal on broadcast with Steve in DeCoin last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was, and it worked out pretty well. So I'm a little more confident to try to send these people out and do these things, twice in the same day or coverage we can't get to right now.
Yeah, and so we're looking at those again. If you'd like to help us out, let David know if you want to do camera, or, hey, if you're a technical savvy person and we can put you to doing what either David or I do,
yeah, absolutely.
that would be a great thing. But get out to the fair. You get
Or
to
if
enjoy the
you have an
atmosphere.
artistic eye and you want to run a camera, I mean, it really is kind of an art to it. So if you've got any kind of interest at all, reach out. I think I had Tanner Spittler offer to sit in on a broadcast and do some anchoring if we needed to. And, those things are going to start happening in the future as this kind of grows and expands and covers as many races as we can. So, reach out if you have any kind of interest in helping us out.
And today, if we'd had the time and the people, we would have had a second camera up for you. And we have to have somebody run that camera.
We were real close.
And Lisa and I didn't know when we were going to get here, whether it was going to be after race 1 or race 2 or before
here
that
on Harness Tube, we will always err on the side of safety and make sure that we get a broadcast out, even if it's just a grandstand shot from the one camera, one microphone. It's our priority to make sure that we're showing the horse races to the horsemen, but we also want to do a good job and make sure we could put out a good product. That's entertaining, that people can kind of sit and watch for extended periods of time and not, just check up the replays. But we want to kind of get you to watch the races and hang out for a period of time with us on a nice Sunday afternoon.
All right. I think we're still waiting here as they're meandering around.
Yeah, seeing horses moving around over there.
And so with that, I'm going to take a break here, David.
Okay. I just put up Lane Avenue's picks and I'll drop it down.
Hang on. We'll go back and we'll run a couple of commercials here for our sponsors and thank them for what they do.
I want to point out that Lane picked Casey over his brother. So
in July at the Knox
whenever you're ready, I'll
Fair
flip this thing
in
over.
Knoxville. That'll be on July 8. The Marshall Putnam Fair at Henry, July 14. The Fulton County Fair at Lewiston, July 25. Belvedere at Boone County, August 6. Whiteside County at Morrison, August 17. And the Sandwich Fair on September 4. So it's another big summer lined up and ready to go for the Northern Illinois Colt Association, of which the Henry County Fair has the honor of being the kickoff event.
It looks like he's coming out. All right. Probably going to do a trial, Kurt. So,
yeah, David, it looks like the gate is coming out, or what looked like it was for a moment, but we'll wait for, before we go to a commercial, we'll see what's going on here with that.
I think they might be doing a test run, so we might have a minute if you want to go ahead.
Okay. All right. We'll be back after these messages.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166. A Rustic Garden ships home and garden accents coast to coast, right from its location in Mount Sterling. The folks there customize each sail by painting unique and vintage colors to match the look of the home or flower garden. They also do wrought iron fencing. How long does that last? 100 years? 200 years? Who knows how long wrought iron fencing will last? Shop www.arusticgarden.com and get it shipped directly to your front door.
Hello, Earl Flack for your locally owned McKay Napa Auto Parts store. I'm always talking about savings, but why not? We're your local auto parts store. Yeah, I know you got choices, but those box stores, not local. How about some Napa antifreeze on sale for $8.99 for a full extended life? How about Napa full synthetic motor oil? 5-quart jug for $20.99. That's a 61% saving, or $4.49 by the quart. How about some Armor All leather car cleaner protectant, $5.49 for a container? Get the good stuff with Napa know-how.
ADI, located in Golden, is one of North America's largest pattern tiling installers. We've helped farmers create water management systems for over 40 years with pattern tiling across farm fields, generating proven data showing a boost in yield and greater profitability. Changing weather patterns do not have to cost you yield dollars anymore. Start with a free estimate now by calling your local ADI representative, David Lohman, at 309-280-2411 or by visiting our website at agdrainage.com.
I have been interested in truck driving my whole life. I've been fascinated with the big rigs since I was a kid. But after college, I got into business on the marketing side of things, kind of shelved the dream. 30 years later, I quit my job, signed up for truck driving school. It was exciting from the get-go. Dot recruited out of my truck driving school. The job was everything I was hoping it would be, and then some. My weeks absolutely fly by. When my life needed fulfillment, I took the wheel.
Timewell Drainage Products is a locally owned family company that has provided incredible employment opportunities in our area for over 40 years. Our constantly growing company is always looking for dynamic individuals who want to be part of an innovative, fast-paced team. To join our team, visit us online at timewellpipe.com. Timewell Drainage Products, a proud community employer since 1982.
Make plans now to attend the 25th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century, including reigning Illinois Divisional Champions On Higher Ground and Scorecard Dandy. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 2nd at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
All right, David, we're back here. I noticed I need to go in and take a look at something real quick here and see if I can grab a commercial that we don't have on here. But we're glad that you could join us today on Harness Tube and be a part of the broadcast. So,
yep, we're getting
they're still working on the gate.
Updates on the starting gate. We're trying to fill time with content, commercials, and chat stuff, but
wow, I wonder what I did with it. David, is I can't find the commercial that I'm looking for.
I do not know.
Give the flag drop, let them know they're on their own, and then we'll be fine. We'll be willing to do that. Okay. Now, megaphone would be yeah, if it's loud enough, you can command them to come in position, stay in position, and then you can be up here in the middle, like where you let them go first race, and then give the word go, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I was looking for my Flacco Family Farms one, David.
That's not a commercial. That's just a.
Oh, it's just a slide.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's, you know what? That's why you can't. I can't find the commercial because it's not a commercial.
It's just a slide.
Yeah. Okay. As we get ready to go here for race 2, they're making adjustments.
I'm hearing some come in live,
and
yeah.
Kurt will have some announcements here in a minute to tell us exactly what's going on.
I'm only hearing half the story. I'll let him say.
Kurt, we are doing the transmission problems at the gate for safety reasons, mostly, and more importantly, we're going to try to do with the intercom or something like that, a start with Roy Finn in the middle of the stretch, where, as you would tell him, custom usage would release early before turn, and that they'll follow his command, and then the race will continue.
Very good.
Okay, here comes Kurt with an update on that.
Here is the update from our starter. The issue is apparently a transmission issue with the starting gate and with the transmission slipping as it has been doing as they have put the gate through some test runs around the outside, the perimeter of the grounds. The starter's number one concern, of course, is for the safety of the horses and drivers. So the decision has been made that the starting gate will not be used for the remaining races, but we will keep racing. So that's the good news. And there will, right now, our racing officials are attempting to communicate word to the drivers, and we will go ahead and pass along word that the plan is, we've gone to Plan B.
Well, no, we can have the drivers that are in this race come over here this way and take a turn around us here.
Plan B is to have starter Roy Finn positioned on the infield along the inside lane, just off the racing surface on the infield side of the home stretch. And I believe that we are making arrangements to get a portable loudspeaker for Roy that he can, to the best of his ability under the circumstances, give instructions to the drivers as they bring the horses down the home stretch for the start. He will release the field early to give everyone time to get settled into position before they have to negotiate the first turn. So again, we will be continuing our race program. And drivers, if you would please hang tight in the home stretch here for just a moment, because the goal is we're trying to get everybody to the home stretch near a loudspeaker that we can relay word to the drivers what is taking place. I believe some of our racing officials, in fact, presiding Judge Tim Searle has exited the judges' stand. He is now coming trackside because we don't want any miscommunication. So he is coming trackside, Tim Searle is, to talk with the drivers in this second race and explain to them the situation. And again, and this is where it's a real benefit to have a presiding judge who is a former trainer driver himself. So drivers, hang up, hold up a second, guys. You've got Tim Searle, your presiding judge. He's coming trackside to the home stretch. He's trackside right now. And he will explain to you what the policy is going to be for the remainder of the card as we start these races without you. Successful careers as trainers and drivers,
30
the third
seconds.
of which has been a steward for parimutuel racing in the Midwest for many years and has worked events such as the $500,000 World Trotting Derby at DuQuoin. And that's one of the luxuries we have in Illinois on the fair circuit, to have officials who have this kind of background. So, folks, we apologize for the delay, but again, the good news is we are getting set to go back racing, and I know that sometimes we all know in life we can get a curveball once in a while, an unexpected circumstance arises, and you deal with it the best one can. And again, to be able to rely on the wealth of experience of these three individuals in the stretch that you're looking at right now, that is a big plus. Folks, how about a hand for our racing officials and our horsemen here today. And again, the horsemen, the four of you, that would be Casey Leonard, Wyatt Avenatti, also Tony Farina, Cornelius Cavett. If you would bring your horses to the home stretch, please. So our starter, Roy Finn, and our stewards, Mr. Dye and Mr. Searle, can have a brief conversation with you. Thank you.
All right, David.
Are we up?
We are up, and we
Okay.
can talk a little bit here as they're getting ready to go. Okay. We're trying to get some internet things straightened out for us, folks. That really didn't affect you, other than we
So the
lost
field
our
for
signal
race
for a
two,
moment.
as you have seen, is just paraded by the stands. The drivers had a chance to, all 7 drivers, to communicate trackside with Brad Dye and Tim Searle and starter Roy Finn. As you can see, Roy has a portable loudspeaker in hand as the horses now work their way over to the backstretch, and we will make an attempt to get back underway here in the second race. And again, we do appreciate your patience, and we appreciate all the extra effort that everybody's been making to ensure that, yes, we can continue the program, but to do so safely. Race 2 is the Northern Illinois Colt Association 2-year-old colt pace. sponsored by Blade Trucking, one of our annual sponsors here at the races. Number 1 is Some Hack Somewhere, owned by Gary and Catherine Rath of Marengo, trained and driven by Gary Rath. 2, Captain Coondog, owned by Steve Searle of Grant Park, Brian Code of Bradford, James Nellinger of Peoria, Harry Einfeld of Carbon Cliff, the trainer Steve Searle, the driver Casey Leonard. The field now is lining up, heading around the far turn, getting ready for the start. 3 is Fort Perry, Wyatt Avenatti. 4, it's Major Carl Bombay, Cornelius Cavett. 5, Jimmy D. Shark, Michael Cox. 6, Secret Party, Tony Farina. 7, Captain Nate, Gabe Wand. Turn things over to Roy Finn. Top of the stretch. Here they come. Roy says go. What a job by these horsemen. Just amazing. And they are off, and it's a good start for all as they head down into the first turn. There goes Fort Perry from the outside, and Some Hack Somewhere is right there with early speed as well. As they swing around the turn, Captain Coondog comes away racing in third. Captain Nate is in the 4th position as they move off the first turn and up the back stretch. It is Fort Perry who has the early lead. Fort Perry leads it by a length and a half. Some Hack Somewhere is second, and here comes Captain Coondog, who's moving to the outside. Captain Coondog from third moves up to second. Further back, Captain Nate is in 4th. Jimmy D. Shark is racing along in 5th. 31 and 4 for the opening quarter. 31 and 4/5 seconds. It's Major Carl Bombay is next to last, and Secret Party is last of the 7 as they round that far turn after 3/8 of a mile. It is Fort Perry who shows the way for driver Wyatt Avenatti. Fort Perry on top by 3 lengths. Some Hack Somewhere is second by just a half length. And here is Captain Coondog, who's up on the outside to challenge once again for that second spot. And then further back, Captain Nate is 4th as they're halfway home in the Blade Trucking race, followed by Jimmy D. Shark up on the outside. 104 for the first half mile. 104. Jimmy D. Shark moves up with off the lead as they round the turn and head toward the backstretch once again. It's Major Carl Bombay is next to last, and the front. And here comes Captain Coondog making a bid now for the lead, but Fort Perry is still the leader. Fort Perry Somewhere is racing in 3rd position as they enter the far turn. Jimmy D. Shark is a wide 4th. 1:35 and 2. The time at the 3/4, 1:35 and 2. And Fort Perry has opened back up on a 3-length lead. Some Hack Somewhere moves up into 2nd position off the far turn. Captain Nate swings to the outside. Captain Coondog lost ground around the far turn. It is Fort Perry with Some Hack Somewhere and Captain Nate on the grandstand side. Fort Perry with a narrow lead. Some Hack Somewhere, Captain Nate. Fort Perry wins it by a half length. It was Some Hack Somewhere who was home second. Captain Nate was across the wire in 3rd. Close for 4th, Jimmy D. Shark, or it's Major Carl Bombay for that 4th spot. Then behind that pair, Secret Party was across the wire in 6th, and Captain Coondog was 7th. 2:06 flat was the time for the mile. 2:06 flat.
Okay, David, another good race here once we finally got it finished there. As you,
I think that's the results.
All
Let
right.
me just go ahead and comment on that start. We had a 7-horse field of 2-year-old babies out there. A lot of them 6 of them making their first lifetime start at a fair they haven't been to before. We had a nice, clean start with no gate, nice, clean mile. Really impressed with the horsemen on that one. Everyone was really heads up. Great job, guys. Nope, we got the mile up there. It was 2.6, Steve. Is that what I have?
2:07:1.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
You're good. I'm just putting stuff up I didn't have up yet.
Okay, and then I've got the
ready to
unofficial
go?
results. Yes.
Good to have our Henry County Fair royalty joining us in the stands at the races here today. And Blade Trucking, the sponsor for today's second race. Fort Perry, first career start, owned by Constance Oakey of Georgetown, Kentucky, right outside of Lexington. Georgetown, Kentucky is where that big Toyota Motor Manufacturing Plant is located. The winner is bred by Lynn Chris, trained by Kevin Miller, and driven by Wyatt Avenatti. So a trainer who bases his stable at the Champaign County Fairgrounds in Urbana, a driver who comes to us out of Crispin, Illinois, and the winning 2-year-old pacer, an Illinois-bred gelded son of Fort Knox out of Wisecrack by Western Ideal. How about a hand for the winner, Fort Perry?
Okay, David, we can take a look at this. If the results stand
Again, great
up.
to have the Queen's Court here at the races.
Guess what?
Queen
Guess
Jonna
who picked
Fulcher,
that horse?
First runner-up,
I know.
Olivia Goodley, second runner-up.
When I saw
Amanda
Wyatt
Reed.
leave, I saw that.
Junior Miss this year, Cameron Ebert.
And,
Junior Miss first runner-up, Ella Shannon with Molly Parr. The Junior Miss second runner-up. Little Miss Owen Fritz, first runner-up Lydia DeWolf, second runner-up Sarah Ames. Great to have the Queen and her court. Now coming trackside to offer congratulations to our winning connections. Again, Blade Trucking, based in Cambridge. They are an annual sponsor of racing here at the Henry County Fair, and their race is won by a pretty promising-looking 2-year-old winning here on debut.
All right, David, as we get ready to go here for race 3.
And folks, that's the other thing. You had a race full of 2-year-olds.
Do we have any
that
changes?
6 of the 7 had never been in a race until today. How about the job these horses and horsemen did on the start of that race? Well done, one and all.
You talking to me,
Okay,
Steve?
yeah. Do we have any changes for this race?
For third?
Yeah, for
I
the
don't
third
know.
race.
It's not
Going to
that far
heads up,
yet.
our stewards are on their way to the stable area to meet you at the draw gate over at the far turn. So
Yeah,
drivers, the stewards are going to meet you at the draw gate in the far turn to communicate the same set of instructions to all of our drivers here today that were given to the drivers in race 2. Again, just to make sure everyone has heard directly from our officials. Speaking of official, the rundown is official for race 2. The Blade Trucking race is in the books. Let's give you the full field rundown from the top. Some Hack Somewhere was the runner-up. Captain Coondog was 7. Fort Perry was the winner. It's Major Carl Bombay 5. Jimmy D. Shark finished 4. Secret Party 6. And Captain Nate finished 3. The quarter 31 and 4, the half in 104, 3/4 135 and 2, and the mile in 206 flat. Reach down 271, 546, 3. So the third race is on the way. A couple of drivers already have received instructions because Wyatt Avenatti and Casey Leonard both drove in today's second race. So just a reminder to LaDerek Huggins and Jerome Daniels in race 3, and then the balance of our drivers for the remainder of the card. If you would be so kind, take a swing by the draw gate over at the far turn. Just take a minute if you would. Our stewards would like to speak directly with you. And again, just to communicate Plan B today as we continue to go racing without the use of the starting gate. In this third race, a reminder, the driver of the 2, Lou of I, is Wyatt Avenatti. Number 2, Lou of I, Wyatt Avenatti, the driver.
Okay, a great racing as we started to talk about it, and he talked about quite a bit. Great start by the horsemen as we were
Are you
flying
making
by this-
changes over there, Steve?
I am.
I've got some filler if you want to go ahead and do that.
Go ahead and be filled.
I'll
would you?
be filled. I was talking to Tim Sherlin here on the judges stand, and he said that we had Sam Hodgett's daughter's over in the Sam Hodgett's daughter Jill is over in the barn area today watching the horse races. Wanted to give her a big shout out. She was a big supporter of ours last year. Sam has been raced for years and years and years around the state of Illinois. Drove a lot the Quad City Downs, if you remember, from up there. Drove the starting gate around the fairs for many, many years. Sam was a heck of a driver. We want to thank Jill and Sam for still being harness fans and still following us along.
Absolutely. And guess what?
What?
Once you have horses in your blood, it's kind of like being a pastor. Guess what? Once you do it, it's in your blood forever.
And even if you go away, you fall right back in the first time you see it again, right? I mean, it's like an old hat. Just fits.
Yep, it does. And so happy to have those people along, and the traditions and the history that they've provided for the sport. I mean, without that history, we have no sport.
And I could be getting this story wrong, but someone can fact check me on YouTube. I think it's out there somewhere. There is a video on YouTube, I'm pretty sure, from Quad City Downs in the late 80s, and I can't remember. I want to say Sam Widger's horse breaks a bit or breaks a line up the backstretch. And Sam Hodgett was on the outside and reached over and grabbed that horse with his left hand and kind of steered it while Sam, I had this backwards maybe, Sam jumped up on the horse's back where they could kind of wrangle it down to a stop, but Sam Hodgett was the one who kind of got that horse corralled so that the driver could make that leap. It's a cool video if I could find it.
That'd be a leap of faith, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Got to get a pasture thing in there.
You do have to give a pasture thing in there.
Okay.
Really cool story over here in the chat going on. For those of you who are not on YouTube chat and are just listening to us on a TV or something, Scott Nance was mentioning a little story he had back in the day. There was a rule where if you wanted to race in the State Fair Colt Stakes Championship at Springfield and DuQuoin, you had to make a start at one of the county fairs. A pretty cool rule in my mind. But they had a nice horse. They said a 2-year-old named Surrender, and they chose
Really
the
is
Henry
an amazing
Fair.
job that the harness horse trainers and drivers do in this sport, as we have seen here today. And mention that because from a track announcer's perspective, all a track announcer has to do is talk, and we don't always do that very well. And it's amazing to see how horsemen deal with adversity, and they can deal with it so well. I mention this because I know that when the first race got underway today, we had 4 drivers in the first race wearing green and white driving colors. And I had put on my sunglasses, forgot to grab my binoculars when the race started. It took me probably 5/8 of a mile to figure out who was leading and who was in fourth before I finally got it straight. And I'm going to be straightforward about that because of the point being, you look at the horsemen, you look at those folks that sit in that race bike, and especially with these 2-year-olds that have very little, if any, racing experience. I mean, we tip our hat to the men and women of the harness racing community. It is amazing the job they do, whether the circumstances are ideal or not. Well done, one and all.
All right, David, we want to talk about from the backstretch. They can do that by emailing us, or do like a lot of people. I'm amazed. In comparison to last year, our chat has blew up.
Well, I figured out how to use it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know what I was doing last year, and I just got in there and was playing around. Well, this year I'm looking at all the features and stuff, and I will say I've got sons, and my kids are teaching me how to use YouTube, and I'm watching the people that they've subscribed to and see how they kind of run their broadcasts and get ideas and stuff. So, we're learning together.
Well, I think we've got a matter of a show of true confessions going on here, Kurt. True confession about not having his binoculars a while ago. Your true confession that your kids are teaching you what's going on. I have nothing to confess. I went to church this morning.
I've got a confession here.
I confessed everything at church today.
There was when I was 18 years old, I made my first call at the Rushville Fair, and I made a couple calls that year. Actually, my first one would have been at Griggsville, and so I was up in the Griggsville. Their judges stand atop of the grandstand, and there was night races. And one of the later races, Ed Teefy let me call. It was just hand me the microphone. It was a 3 or 4 horse field to trot. But I had 2 drivers I wasn't super familiar with. I think one was actually Gabe Wand, and the other one might have been like Jason Van Winkle or somebody from more up north up here. And I called those horses backwards the entire mile until they crossed the finish line. I just had the colors wrong in my head and just called them wrong every step of the way. And got it right in the last final step finally, but it happens. I mean, it really, really does.
Well, I can tell you that if you're colorblind, it'd be hard to be a track announcer. Jack Hall could not be a track announcer, him or Charlie, and Charlie's a great basketball play-by-play guy, but I don't think he could do harness racing.
And all the old school all the old school announcers follow the head numbers and number pads. I watch colors of drivers. That's just what I grew up doing, So, but you're right, absolutely.
Today's third race at the Henry County Fair, the Northern Illinois Colt Association continues with the 2-year-old filly trot for a purse of $2,958. A reminder, Wyatt Avenatti drives number 2, Lou of I. Wyatt Avenatti is the driver. So numbers 1, 2, and 3 are each making a first career start today. The only member of this lineup with prior racing experience as far as the horses are concerned is number 4, Two's Teaton, who has been runner-up in 2 prior starts. This is the Beans Trucking race. Let's meet the starters. Number 1 is Goldie's Louise, owned by Flacco Family Farms, LLC of Alexis, Illinois, of Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco and Rick and Tabby Flacco. Owned also by trainer Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi. LaDerrick Huggins is in the bike. 2 is Lou of I, owned by the Flacco Family Farms LLC of Alexis, trained by Steve Searle. Steve is also the co-owner. He's from Grant Park. Brian Code of Bradford owns an interest in this trotter as well. Contrary to the program, the driver Wyatt Avenatti. Number 3, Lose My Number. Some clever play on words here with these Lose Legacy names in this race. Number 3, Lose My Number, owned by Steve Searle of Grant Park, Mike Buzzard of Altamont, Chris Paloma of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and Michael Paloma of Mundelein, Illinois, trained by Steve Searle, the driver Casey Leonard. And number 4, Two's Teaton, the owner, trainer, and driver Jerome Daniels of Springfield, Illinois. Wrapping up some track conditioning with the Harrow behind the John Deere tractor coming off the turn at the top of the stretch. And as soon as the track conditioning concludes, we'll be ready to go here in race 3. Right now the field is over on the far turn, about midway on the turn, getting ready to move to the top of the stretch and come down the home stretch for the start.
Real quick, again, we'll come back. David picked the
Right
2
now,
horse.
The drag tractor is working its way off the end of the back straightaway.
2-4-3 on my end.
Good clip.
And I picked 4-3-2 and
Field in the
3-4-1 for
hands
Lisa.
and the tractor is off the track, so we're good to go. Roy Finn takes over. Here they come. Who would have thunk it? 2-year-old trotters with no gait and another clean start. Well done again. They're off and trotting in the Beans Trucking race, and into the first turn, Lou of I is quick to grab the racetrack. Lou of I goes out for the early lead and opens up by 2.5 lengths around the first turn. Two's Teaton is racing in second. Lose My Number moves up third on the outside, and Goldie's Louise is last of the 4 as they head off the first turn and up the back stretch. It is Lou of I who shows the way. One of the first-time starters in the race is on top 1.5 lengths. Two's Teaton, the experienced 2-year-old with just 2 starts, but the only one that's ever raced before today, is right there in second position past the quarter gap of 5 lengths to Lose My Number. 34 and 3 for the opening quarter, 34 and 3/5 seconds. Goldie's Louise last of the 4 after 3/8 of a mile. Good to have you with us on a spectacular Sunday afternoon at the Henry County Fair, and the leader here in race 3 after 3/8 of a mile, Lou of I, who shows the way on top by 1.5 lengths. Two's Teaton is second by 2 lengths, and then Lose My Number, who's third by 2. And Goldie's Louise, last of the 4. We're halfway home in the Beans Trucking race, and again, our trackside photographer Danny Brooks getting some great action shots as the field works their way past the stands. 1:08 and 1 for the first half mile, 1:08 and 1/5. It is Lou of I who is the leader, and again, welcome to all of you joining us on Harness Tube as well as our fans on site. Headed up the backstretch here in the third race, seeing if anybody can catch Lou of I. Two's Teaton, the closest threat, in second. Lose My Number is racing in third, and Goldie's Louise is fourth, but still right there. Give credit to these 2-year-old trotters, all 4 staying on the trot through the first 3/4 of a mile. 1:40 and 2 for the 3/4, 1 minute 40 and 2/5 seconds. Wyatt Avenatti looking to go back to back. He's the driver in control here with Lou of I, who turns for home in front with a widening 5-length lead. Two's Teaton is second 1.5 lengths. Lose My Number swings to the outside to challenge for second, but well behind Lou of I, who captures the Beans Trucking race for 2-year-old trotting fillies. Lou of I won it by 4 lengths. Lose My Number did rally up for second at the expense of Two's Teaton, who was another 8 lengths back in third, and then Goldie's Louise finished fourth. Time for the mile? 2:11 and 4. 2 minutes 11 and 4/5 seconds. Lou of I, the winner.
All right, David Brink wins this for the second time in that
I almost
race.
had the trifecta in case he had to blow it up and pull that filly at the top of the lane. But that was a good race, good solid race.
Yeah, at
everyone
least-
was safe again. You know, that's the most important thing. And a nice mile, and came home in what, 31-2. So a nice trotting mile, you know, coming home. There we go. Jill Marshall, that's the name. I see her in the chat now. Jill's over there. Sam Hodgett. Okay, here we go. Here's the story from Jill. This is from the horse's mouth.
Wait a second there. Are you,
Well,
Jill, he really didn't
no
mean
pun
that.
intended.
Okay.
Okay, so Sam Hodgett, who had the ring break on a bridle at Quad City Downs, and he had to climb up on the back of Sally Lou, was the horse's name, and bring her to a stop. And she's thanking us for all we do for Harness Tube. Thanks for watching, Jill. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for clearing me up on that story. I haven't watched that video in a long time, but it's really cool to watch some of the amazing things our horsemen can do. We will cut to the computer and skip you for a while.
Big group coming trackside with the connections of Lou of I, a very clever name for an offspring of Lou's Legacy. Of course, Lou's Legacy, the reigning Illinois Trotting Stallion of the Year. This is a homebred for the Flacco Family Farms LLC of Alexis, of Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco and Rick and Tabby Flacco, as well as for Steve Searle of Grant Park and Brian Code of Bradford. Steve Searle, the trainer, and Wyatt Avenatti with the winning drive as Wyatt goes back-to-back on the card. That high-spirited 2-year-old. Now, how about that? You know what, folks? You can't blame her because you know what? She behaved herself when it counted. So fair enough. But just a little bit of energy, extra energy there, and she threw her head and took off on a gallop, and then Wyatt Avenatti, calm as ever, in the race bike, just let her get that out of her system, and now she has settled down, this winning filly. She's feeling good. She comes back in front of the stands as we get ready for the Beans Trucking Blanket presentation for the Northern Illinois Colt Association 2-year-old filly trot. Our thanks to Beans Trucking for sponsoring this race, and Lou of I, if history holds true, this is a filly that could have a great future because Steve Searle has raced so many trotters to success over the years by Lou's Legacy, and who knows, maybe this one will be the next one to join that roster of champions. Long way to go. This is just the first step, but her first step of her career is a successful one. Here's that winning girl, Lou of I. How about a hand for the winner? It's always interesting to watch a young racehorse get a glimpse of the carnival. I mean, here at the Henry County Fair, as they enter the first turn, if they look toward the outside lane of the racetrack, they see the Rocco planes and the Ferris wheel. And don't forget, the carnival's up and operating and will continue until 5 p.m. today, $30 armbands. Here's the presentation down trackside as Lou of I prevails in this third race and picks up a record of 2 minutes, 11 and 4/5 seconds. She came home pretty good last quarter, 31-2, last half in 103 and 3/5. Back to back for that gentleman out of Chrisman, Illinois, the winning driver, his name, Wyatt Avenatti. And we always like to mention we like happy stories on the fair circuit, and Wyatt is a cancer survivor. Wyatt, great to have you out there racing, buddy. Congratulations. Well done. Here's the full field rundown for that third race. It is official from the top. Goldie's Louise finished 4. Lou of I was the winner. Lose My Number, the runner-up. 2's Teaton finished 3. The quarter, 34 and 3/5 seconds. The half in 108 and 1/3, 140 and 2/5. The time for the mile, 2:11 and 4/5. Reads down 4-1, 2-3. A reminder, in the upcoming fourth race, scratch the 4, YF Lucky. Number 4, YF Lucky, scratched in this fourth race. And a reminder, the driver of the 1, YF Rocket, Gabe Wand. Mr. Gabe Wand, who joins us out of Wisconsin here today at the races. He will drive number 1, YF Rocket.
All right, with that, David, we're going to take a quick commercial break. If you'll switch back over
Okay.
to the camera. Yeah, HDMI 2.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. I wasn't, but we'll be back after this.
Built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Make plans now to attend the 25th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Established in 1999, the Illini Classic has been producing champions for a quarter century, including reigning Illinois divisional champions On Higher Ground and Scorecard Dandy. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 2nd at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. Come join us and finish the summer strong.
So we get back to things here. We'll get that echo out of there. As David, I noticed some of the other harness racing things that are out there that are doing video.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that they can't do is miss bringing the mics back up because they don't talk or anything or run. Some of those don't even run any commercials or anything, so they can't mess up.
Yep.
I mean, it's really easy when all you do is put a camera out there.
And in Ohio, they got a nice big broadcast team and a whole crew, and they have a budget and everything, and they have people who cover they have a technical person and 2 anchors, and we do everything ourselves. So
yeah, and
we're probably a 5-person crew down to about 3.
Yeah. And so with that, let's look at race 4 here. We've got a scratch with the 4, so I moved everybody's 4 picks. If they had a 4 pick,
okay.
I moved whatever horse
up. Let's look at the 4th then.
So the 4th looks like this. David picked Fox Valley Victor, along with Lisa picking the same. They picked the exact same horses. It'll be 3-2-1 for them with the scratch. 3-2-1, just reverse order. Fox Valley Victor, Hopes Devi,
I would say, but yeah.
And YF Rocket. I went a little differently. I went with the Hopes Devi horse, then went with Fox Valley Victor, and I'll finish up with the YF Rocket.
You know, that Fox Valley Victor is a 2-year-old of Freddie Patton's, and that's the other one I mentioned. He has a couple nice 2-year-olds that were coming along when we were at Decatur the second day, and that one got the win that day too. You know, tried a nice last quarter in 31 flat, followed it up with a mile at Springfield the last quarter in 30 and 4. So I think if Freddie takes care of this thing with a small field, it should be his race to lose.
Well, I know Lisa picked this horse just because it said Fox Valley in front of it. I mean, remember last week, I think it was her and Randy both. If they had, or Scott, if they had
Fox Valley
in it, it was going to be one of their picks.
They have had a heck of a breeding farm for a long time and put out great stock. So it's not a bad way to go, really, to pick Fox Valley horses.
No, breeding is half of the equation.
It's a lot of it. It really is. I mean, these horses are the animal they are.
Horses
you know, you can't change them.
Ready to meet the starters for race 4, the Northern Illinois Colt Association 2-year-old Colton Gelding Trot, brought to you by Dobbles Trucking, another of our annual sponsors here at the harness races. Good to have them back on board again this year, and our family of sponsors. Scratch the 4, YF Lucky, scratched from this 4th race. Let's meet the starters. Number 1 is YF Rocket, purse of $3,000 plus. YF Rocket, owned by Jay DeLong of Clinton, Wisconsin. He's the trainer. Gabe Wand is in the bike. 2, Hopes Devi, owned and trained by Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi. LaDerrick Huggins is the driver. And 3, Fox Valley Victor, owned by Perry Tillman of Bolton, Mississippi, trained and driven by Freddie Patton Jr. And again, the 4, YF Lucky, is scratched. So you've got number 1, YF Rocket, who is making a first start for purse money, although he did race in a non-purse qualifying event at the Pear Mutual track up at Minnesota. Hopes Devi has made 1 prior start. That was just a few days ago on Thursday at the summer preview at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. And then Fox Valley Victor, the lone winner in the lineup, winner at Decatur, the Macon County Fair, June 8 in the Big Ten Colt Stakes.
All right, so they have the horses announced when they gather up and back. This ought to be a clean start, too, with only 3 horses in the race, you would think.
Well, you fingers crossed. Yeah, if we had a 7-horse field start with 6, first-time starters, hopefully this one we've got 3 horses, and they've all made a start before. So hopefully we should be just as clean, I should say. We appreciate everyone in the chat. It's so cool to get that going, and it's kind of consolidating my work from checking 4 different sources to one. But I know there's some of you out there who aren't in the chat and maybe still want to share a story or a picture. And you can still feel free to shoot me a text or an email at harnesstube@gmail.com, or even on Facebook or something. If you have my number, shoot me a text, and we'll try to get your stories up there. We love hearing about Sam. And I was just talking to Brad Dye. He was the race judge at Quad City Downs the day when Sam climbed on that horse's back to get it to a stop. And Brad was telling me all the stories about, the ambulance and the outrider in that day. So just cool to reminisce and hear all these old stories and share with each other.
Well, David, I will tell you, just from sheer looks, these 3 horses are
shoulder to shoulder, yeah.
Good
team.
Good-looking
horses.
horses.
For the start here in the 4th race. As they work their way toward the top of the stretch, the field is in the hands of our trackside starter, Roy Finn.
Thank you for the reminder. I'm going to grab the binoculars right now.
You shouldn't confuse Gabe.
Here they come. Roy Finn says go. These 3 trotters lined up in perfect formation coming down for the start, and they are off and trotting in the doubles trucking race. There goes Fox Valley Victor out for the early lead as YF Rocket gets away in the 2nd position around that first turn, and then Hopes to V, who is 3rd and last as the field heads off the first turn and onto the backstretch, working their way toward the quarter-mile mark. Fox Valley Victor, that is the lone winner in this lineup coming into this card, shows the way on top by a length and a half. YF Rocket making a first start for purse money here today. Travels along in 2nd position, and Hopes to V off an appearance on Thursday at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, making a 2nd career start. 34-3 for the opening quarter. 34 3/5 seconds. And again, kudos to these 2-year-old trotters, all staying on gate on the trot as they work their way around that far turn after 3/8 of a mile. We've had some challenges today, and we've also seen horsemen and racing officials and everyone rise to meet those challenges, and these horses have been tremendous. These young horses early in the card really doing a fantastic job. Halfway home here in the doubles trucking race, it is Fox Valley Victor who is on top by 1 length. YF Rocket is 2nd by 3 lengths, and Hopes to V is 3rd. 1:10 was the time for the first half mile, 1:10 flat. Fox Valley Victor continues to guide these other 2 around the turn to the back stretch, waiting for a challenge. None coming as yet, although YF Rocket is still right there, a close 2nd as they head off the turn onto the backstretch after 5/8 of a mile. And don't count out Hopes to V, may be last, but still is within 3 to 4 lengths of the leader. And they are approaching the 3/4. Now Fox Valley Victor starts to quicken the tempo and opens up by 3 lengths as they head for the far turn. YF Rocket is moving up, finds an opening to the inside. Here comes YF Rocket, 1:43.2 the time. 1:43.2, because Fox Valley Victor, who had the lead, drifted wide into the far turn. That left an opening for YF Rocket, and Gabe Wand says, if you're going to give me that spot, I'm going to take it. Saved the ground and moved up the inside lane to take the lead. YF Rocket is drawing clear in the stretch. YF Rocket and the Wisconsinite Gabe Wand to win today's 4th race, taking the doubles trucking race for 2-year-old trotters in the NICA. YF Rocket won it by just over 3 lengths over the 2nd place horse Hopes to V, who did pick up the spot down the stretch at the expense of Fox Valley Victor. 2:15 was the time for the mile. 2:15 the time for the 1-mile distance. We'll meet the winner, YF Rocket, in just a moment.
Well, David, a good 3-horse race there, but you and Lisa picked them just in reverse.
I don't know. Yeah, I missed what happened to Freddie there. I don't know if he made a break or something coming out of that last turn, but it seems like Gabe got inside of him and just kind of opened up, and Derek finished 2nd, so I missed that. I'm trying to watch the replay over here on my screen.
Well, that's what they're asking about is I think that, that inside track that he took there?
Communication with Freddie.
Where did my radio go?
Right behind the dead spot where we can't see. And
Is that?
now Freddie's out and Gabe's on the rails. We lost it, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have it in our picture.
It happened in the dead spot. You've got Gabe behind Freddie. Yeah, I saw him at the grandstand.
Let's look at this. Too much agriculture.
I'll pull our microphones back. Race again.
There is a steward's
Rocket.
inquiry into the fourth race on the move at the 3/4 by the eventual winner, YF Rocket. The stewards are reviewing the video replay here in the infield judges stand. Steward's inquiry focusing on the move at the 3/4 mile mark by the unofficial winner, YF Rocket. Fox Valley Victor had been the pace setter, and as we mentioned in the race call, Fox Valley Victor did appear to go wide and open the inside lane for that move, but the stewards reviewing the video, conducting an inquiry, wanting to make sure that there was no interference that took place. And also, there's always the case with a county fair half-mile track or any track anymore practically where there's no inside hub rail. The hub rail came out years ago in the interest of safety, so that was a major improvement all across the country when harness tracks started doing that. But the stewards just conducting an inquiry. They always want to make sure that everybody is staying on the racing surface, especially when the inside lane is used. So stand by. Steward's inquiry pending here in race 4.
All right, David, we'll come back and talk with us for a minute. So what are they looking at there that actually is in one of our blind spots?
Yeah, so we're looking there, going to the 3/4 pole. We have Freddie Patton on top with Fox Valley Victor and Gabe Wan riding second there by a couple lengths. And when they go behind the stand and they pop out from behind the water trucks over there going into the third turn, and we see Gabe on the rail inside of Freddie. So what happened there and how they changed position wasn't really clear, and the judges are just talking to the horsemen to figure out the story and see what was going on. It's possible that Freddie's horse was getting kind of steppy and had to kind of bear out and made room for Gabe, but they just want to get the right story.
And so without our video, then they talk to the drivers, right? Is that the next
The
step?
drivers have the best, the
Stewards
best view.
currently communicating by cell phone with driver Freddie Patton Jr., the driver of number 3, Fox Valley Victor.
It looked like you were, I know you made the break top the stretch, but I don't know what was going on with yours.
And so we'll take a look at the unofficial again. YF Rocket, Hopes Divide, and Fox Valley Victor finishing 3. And no winners on our 3 picks here. I don't know if anybody online had picked that horse to win, David, or...
Not that, well, wait, hold on. Let's just give credit where credit's due. Lane didn't have the trifecta, but he picked that horse to win. So I'll give Lane Avenatti the credit of getting that win.
Okay.
He picked the right one.
He picked the right horse.
Oh, and so did
So
Scott,
the
too.
stewards
Hold on,
have
let's get
completed
Scott up
their
there.
inquiry,
Scott,
and
also-
there will be no disqualifications,
switch
no
them.
placing. The result will stand as is. Result stands as is.
Result stands.
Steward
that
Brad
off.
Dye by cell phone was talking
And
to driver Freddie
that.
Patton Jr.
Bingo.
and just asked Freddie what happened there at the 3/4. Wanted to make sure that from Freddie's perspective there was no interference that took place. Freddie said no. He said, I felt like my horse was maybe on the verge possibly of breaking stride, so he said that's why I got to the outside. And he said it was perfectly fine for Gabe Wan to come up the inside. There was plenty of room. There was no interference. He had room to make the move. No harm, no foul, so all is good. So YF Rocket will stand as the official winner of today's 4th race. We'll meet that winner here in just a moment. Coming off the far turn to the top of the home stretch to pick up the Dobbles Trucking race, race 4. Again, the time for the mile, 2:15 flat.
9-4, Casey Leonard. Kurt.
9-4 Casey Leonard.
Yep.
Thank
Horse
you.
Madness.
And in front of us now, how about a hand for the official winner, YF Rocket. It's been one of the luxuries of having harness tube covering races on the Illinois Fair Circuit. The anchors are positioned here in the infield judges stand near our stewards. So with Steve Surratt and David Brink nearby, if the stewards want to look at the video of a race, they can back the video up so that they can take a look. And it's no different. You know, sometimes you tune in and you watch, it doesn't matter if it's an NFL game, an NCAA college basketball game. Sometimes, as you know, under certain circumstances, the officials will go to the sidelines and look at the video. And it simply means that the stewards are being thorough in their job, making sure everything is okay before they declare the result official. So YF Rocket prevails here for owner, trainer Jay DeLong of Clinton, Wisconsin. The driver Gabe Wand, also of Wisconsin. Chester Yoder bred this gelded son of Lou's Legacy out of Fox Valley Lush by Pizzazz. Raced in a qualifying race, a non-purse race to get some experience at Running Aces racetrack up in Minnesota on June the 10th, and comes to the county fair here in Henry County for the win today. Gabe, congratulations. And here is the official full field rundown for the Dobbles Trucking race. And by the way, our thanks to everyone at Dobbles Trucking, Rick and the gang. Of course, Rick, a former Derby driver, and has sponsored a lot of race cars and various forms of motorsport in the Henry County area, and also steps up to the plate to support harness racing, and we appreciate it. So the official result from the top, YF Rocket was the winner. Hopes to be the runner-up. Fox Valley Victor was third after breaking stride at the top of the stretch. And, of course, YF Lucky was scratched. Quarter 34 and 3/5 seconds. The half in 1:10. 3 quarters, 1:43 and 2. The time for the mile in 2:15 flat. Reads down, 1, 2, 3. Scratch. Race 5 is coming up. A reminder, the driver of the 2, UCD, UC Annie, is Michael Cox. Michael Cox drives the 2. And the driver of the 4, Some Star Sandy, Gary Rath. Number 4, Some Star Sandy, the driver, Gary Rath. Race 5 on the way.
All right, David, let's go back to the side-by-side. As we take a look at things here, we want people to like and subscribe. It does things for us on YouTube and on Facebook. If you would do that for us, we would greatly appreciate that. You can do that at Harness Tube on YouTube and at Harness Tube on
Facebook. I'm glad you brought that up, because we haven't talked about that for a while, have we?
No, we haven't talked about. If you go out there and like and subscribe, David is going to put you in a drawing here at the end of the race today.
And we've talked about we're going to try to get this plugged into the machine and run it after the last race?
Yeah,
stay tuned after the last race. We'll get it plugged in, and we'll draw the winner of that $100 gift certificate to Design by Des.
To the area where you picked them up earlier today. Once you're done racing, once your race is complete, if you would be so kind as to return the saddle pad numbers, we would appreciate that. I know our racing staff appreciates your help in that area very much. By the way, in race 5, couple of horses. This is the Miller Vet Clinic race, by the way, and our thanks to everybody at Miller Veterinary Service. In this 5th race, number 1, Paradise Tomorrow, actually raced just a few days ago, and that past performance line is not in your track program. Paradise Tomorrow raced on Friday and raced in the program that was held at the Illinois State Fairgrounds and finished 4th with a beaten time of 1:55 and 4. Paradise Tomorrow was in one of the later races of the day on Friday at the Illinois State Fairgrounds. That is the Suburban Downs summertime meet. And again, finished 4th with a beaten time of 1:55 and 4. But keep in mind, of course, that is a 1-mile racetrack. And number 2, UCD UC Annie, also raced on Friday at the Illinois State Fairgrounds at Springfield. Finished 6th, was promoted to 5th following a disqualification of another horse. Beaten time 1:55. Beaten time of 1:55 for UCD UC Annie at the Illinois State Fairgrounds on Friday.
Okay, David, we can talk about the race here for just a moment. Race 5, we'll take Kurt down for just a moment.
Okay.
As we get ready for race 5 here. 4-horse field, And changes, I've already got them in mind, so you know what they are over there. What?
Mike Cox on the 2, UCD, UC Annie, and Gary Rath. Driving the 4, Some Star Sandy.
Okay, it looks like you picked UCD, UC Annie to win this. In fact, all of us picked 2-1-4 in this race.
That horse, UCD, UC Annie, is off a 4-race win streak, so it's kind of tough to overlook that.
Yeah, you're going to go with it. You don't drop off a horse that's winning like that.
You give them the benefit of the doubt.
And in fact, you're not going to drop off of them if they lose a race.
No, you're still going to. Exactly right.
All right, with that, we'll go back to our.
Well, let me just go ahead and say here, I thought it was pretty cool. I'll go ahead and throw this. This is a really cool comment up here. We'll throw it on the big screen. We had Scott Nance in the chats wanting to give a shout out to Brad Dye, our associate judge, I think, today. But Brad was from the Quad City Downs, and Scott raced many times under Brad's watchful eye and gave him some nice, fair words, called him a very fair judge, and always appreciated him. So, we're so fortunate to have these great individuals in the sport who have stuck around and still help out as officials or horsemen or, putting officials to put the races on sometimes. But we appreciate everyone's following us along.
And has returned to its position on the infield. And one horse finishing a warm-up journey is working its way off the end of the backstretch. And as soon as that horse exits the track, we'll be ready to go here in race 5. Earlier, our crew from Harness Tube, they were talking about going to church this morning, given that it is Sunday. And it makes me wonder, I know we have a lot of horsemen who come and race in Illinois that are from the deep south, and I have heard the expression, going to preachin'. And I used to hear that on the Andy Griffith Show, and of course the setting was rural North Carolina. And it's not a phrase I've often heard here in the Midwest, but I know that from time to time you will hear folks who grew up in the southern or southeastern United States that they won't always say go to church, they will say going to preachin'. And just one of those colloquialisms, I think, that just depends on the dialect and the given part of the country. Right now, here they go. Roy Finn takes over. He says go, and they are off and pacing in the NICA 3-year-old filly pace. The Miller Veterinary Service race for pacing fillies. Paradise Tomorrow goes right out for the early lead. Paradise Tomorrow wasting no time as Wyatt Avenatti goes to the front early here, hoping to score his 3rd win on the card. Some Star Sandy, the Cambridge-based filly, gets away in the 2nd position as they head off the first turn and up the back stretch. UCD, UC Annie, is in 3rd, and SG Clover Success is the distant trailer in 4th as they race on by the quarter-mile mark. Paradise Tomorrow is the leader. Paradise Tomorrow on top, 28-2. Quick opening quarter, 28 and 2/5 seconds, the fastest opening panel on the day. These 3-year-old pacing fillies work their way to the top of the stretch after 3/8 of a mile as Some Star Sandy continues to draft right in behind the leader in the 2nd position at a gap of 3 lengths back to UCD, UC Annie, who travels in 3rd, and a margin of 15 more lengths to SG Clover Success, who's last of the 4. Halfway home in the Miller Vet Clinic race for 3-year-old pacing fillies in the NICA. A minute, 1/5 for the first half mile, a minute and 1/5. Paradise Tomorrow setting this tempo and leads it by a length. Some Star Sandy right behind the leader in 2nd position. The question is, when will she make her move? She'll have to wait because UCD, UC Annie is going to move from 3rd. There goes UCD, UC Annie moving up 3rd, now taking 2nd by a neck, but still a length and a half off the leader, Paradise Tomorrow. And again, a long way back to SG Clover Success. 1:29.3 the time at the 3/4, 1:29.3. Midway on the final turn, Paradise Tomorrow has the advantage, has turned back the challenge at least to UC Annie. Paradise Tomorrow has a 3-length lead. UCD, UC Annie is going to make a final try at her. It's 5 more lengths to after Paradise Tomorrow. This race isn't over yet. Here's the wire. Who will it be? UCD. UC Annie rallies back after losing some ground on the final turn. Once they got off the turn and into the stretch and they straightened out for the wire, UCD, UC Annie loved the straightaways, and that made the difference as she gets the win at the expense of Paradise Tomorrow. Time for the mile, 2 minutes flat. How about that? 2 minutes flat.
All right, David, another good race.
Great race. I got a little nervous there. My UCD-UCNE didn't clear up the backstretch, but turning for home, she put it in gear again and got there by a long neck, I'll call it maybe.
As we get the unofficial results, but I think they're going to be official. 2:143.
I tell you
right,
what,
David?
2:143 is what I have. Wyatt made it an honest race, though. He didn't let Mike have that. I mean, he made him work for it.
And guess what here? Just because that was a nobody
Our
wins
speed
race.
superintendent David Brooks
All
puts
three of us
together
got
a great
the
family of sponsors for
trifecta on
harness
that.
racing every year at the fair. And Miller Veterinary Service, 4 veterinarians on staff, large and small animal. We appreciate their sponsorship of race 5 today. The gentleman trackside in the green and white colors, that is trainer Jamaica Patton, and he's also the co-owner. He has been busy. Had a lot of horses he raced over the last few days at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, where his stable is based. And he asked Michael Cox to handle the driving chores for this particular filly today, as he often does. How about a hand for UCD, UC Annie? Congratulations to D. Phillips of Athens, the co-owner, along with Jamaica Patton of Rochester. A homebred for D. Phillips, who bred this Some Star Somewhere filly in partnership with her husband, Ron. Again, the time for the mile, 2 minutes flat. Still something magical about a 2-minute mile on a county fair racetrack. That's always fun to see. Not a track record here, but a very fast mile nonetheless. Congratulations to our winning connections. Yeah, we have talked to Jamaica Patton about the strategy that a trainer will employ, because we know Jamaica will often drive the horses he trains. And we asked him a few days ago, why is it on occasion you will step aside and you will have someone, like in this case Michael Cox, step into the race bike? And Jamaica says, you know, sometimes it's nice to get a break. Sometimes it's better for a trainer to be able to get a different perspective and to be able to watch the race without sitting in the race bike and actually driving the given horse. And as he told us, he said in some cases, look, he said, I recognize there might be other drivers that get along better with some of my horses than I do. And he said, you know, it's all about what's best for the horse and hopefully winning a race. So we commend the strategy, whatever works. And in this case, Michael Cox works out well with UCD, UC Annie. Here's the full field rundown for race 5. From the top, Paradise Tomorrow was the runner-up. UCD, UC Annie with that late rush down the stretch was the winner. SG Clover Success finished 4, and Some Star Sandy finished 3. The quarter, 28 and 2. The half in 1 minute 1/5. 3 quarters in 1:29 and 3. The time for the mile in 2 minutes flat. Reads down 2:1:43. That brings us to race number 6, the 3-year-old Colt Pace in the NICA, brought to you by Mike Jones Horseshoeing. A reminder, Gary Rath, the driver for number 5, Michelle's Girl Crush. Number 5, Gary Rath will be the driver.
I want to remind you that advertising is what keeps us on the air free, that people can watch this for free, and you can do that by doing a 30-second ad. We can make that for you, or you can give us something that you already have done. We can do it either way if you would like. So you can get a hold of David at HarnessTube on Facebook, on HarnessTube at YouTube, and on HarnessTube at gmail.com. So just put HarnessTube in front of everything, and I bet David receives it.
I tried to stamp down a non-trademark name that I could use everywhere, and I think we're good. So if you search HarnessTube about anywhere, all one word,
we have a chance,
you should find us.
Look at remaining changes for the rest of the card. We told you that Gary Rath will drive the 5 Michelle's Girl Crush in this 6th race. Looking ahead, race 7. In the 7th race, a reminder, the driver of the 2, Hope Starline, Freddie Patton Jr. That's in the 7th race, number 2, Hope Starline. A reminder, the driver, Freddie Patton Jr. In race 8, the driver of the 2, Babe's Image, Casey Leonard. That's race 8, the driver of the 2, Babe's Image, Casey Ninth and final race. A driver to be announced for the 2, Scorecard Lily. Again, that's race 9, number 2, Scorecard Lily, the driver to be announced.
Mike Cox, isn't it? Do we have Mike Cox?
And a driver change on the 4-horse Sports Madness, Casey Leonard. Number 4, Sports Madness, Casey Leonard. Ninth race, number 4, Sports Madness, Casey Leonard, the driver.
Okay. We believe it's going to be Mike Cox, but we'll wait and see when they come out.
Thank you.
And which one was the TBA, David?
That was the 9th race. The
Which
2-horse, I believe. Scorecard Lily. Juan Franco was down. I don't think Juan's here today, so we had to take him off a couple drives.
I'm going to go ahead and put the guess in there. And so with that, we make our drivers changes out there. David, I've got up on the screen about our donors, and I know David's talking with one of the officials right now. And so we'll wait here just a moment as we get ready to go here with this, but we can't do this without donors.
No,
Donors and advertisers. I talked about advertising. Not only a 30-second, but you can do what we call our billboard ad, which is those ads that just come up on the screen. There's no voice behind it or anything.
Yeah, and
so
if we have an opportunity,
way.
if we have time, we'll talk about your business. We love promoting the people who promote us. But yeah, if you want to just get a cheaper way of advertising, we can throw up your a 9x16 on the screen like you've been seeing.
Or you can just donate, and we've got that up. Our donors that have donated.
You longtime race fans might have been surprised to glance at your program
very much
in race
helped
6
us.
and see the name Robert Jan, the owner, trainer, driver of number 2 Through the Storm. This will be Robert Jan's first time in the race bike in 5 years. His most recent drive prior to today came in 2019 at Hawthorne Racecourse in Chicago in a qualifying race. Hasn't driven in a purse race since 2018. But we mention this because a lot of you might remember when Bob Jan raced a lot of top Illinois breds. I think his family usually put the name Prairie in the horse's name. It'd be Prairie this or Prairie that. Won a lot of the state's most prominent races, raced an Illinois State Fair champion or 2. And Bob Jan back with us today on the Illinois County Fair Circuit. And again, first time in a race anywhere for Bob Jan in 5 years. So good to welcome him back to the game.
Okay, what keeps this free, David, is the advertisers, the donors that help us out. That keeps that free on YouTube so that people can watch this for free. We thank everybody who helps us in any way of keeping us on. We thank the viewers for making it possible.
Speaking of thanking the viewers, we are getting closer and closer to the drawing that we keep putting off. We're going to wait till after the last race, after the 9th race today, where we will do our drawing for the $100 gift card to Designed by Dez. So stay tuned for that.
All right. With that, as we're heading in to race 6, we're almost 2/3 of the way through today's card. As we look at race 6 here, here's what the picks look like in race 6. It looks like Lisa and David both have the same picks, 1-5-2, so they are picking Vertical Speed, Michelle's Girl Crush, and Through the Storm. That's 1-2-3, and picking the Vertical Speed on top. David, you want to give a background there?
We've just seen that horse too much at these county fairs be too much for these other competition, going to the front end and just controlling the races. So if White gets, with the rail, if he gets things his way, I got to put him on top.
Okay, I'm going with my sentimental favorite here. I'm going with April's Big Guy.
Association 3-year-old Colt Pace for a purse of just over $2,800. Brought to you by Mike Jones Horseshoeing. A reminder, Gary Rath drives the 5, Michelle's Girl Crush. Number 1, Vertical Speed, owned by Kevin and Daryl Miller of Arthur, trained by Kevin Miller, Wyatt Avenetti in the bike. 2, Through the Storm, Bob Jan of Beloit, Wisconsin, the owner, trainer, driver. 3, April's Big Guy, owned and trained by Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi, co-owned by the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, Illinois. LaDerek Huggins is the driver. 6, Colada Party, owned by Bruce and Mary Alexander of Westfield, Wisconsin, trained by Bruce Alexander. Gabe Wand is the driver. And 5, Michelle's Girl Crush, owned by David and Adam Brooks from right here in Cambridge, trained by David Brooks, the driver, Gary Rath.
And we'll bring ourselves back up while we have some dead time. And I'll go over my pick. It's really tough to beat. For my second choice, I went, David Brooks Stables here in Henry. He's on the fair board. You got to be a little sentimental when you get these home people.
We're on the turn.
And
We will
third,
turn things over
Bob
to
Young,
our
we're
starter,
talking about.
Roy Finn. Roy says go, and they are off and pacing. There goes Vertical Speed out for the early lead. Goes right to the front from that inside starting spot. Opens up by 2 lengths into the first turn. Through the storm comes Big Guy, comes out racing in third as they move off the first turn. Michelle's Girl Crush is in fourth position, and Vertical Speed opens up on a 4-length lead. Through the storm goes second for Bob Yon and is second by 2 lengths. April's Big Guy moves up a closer third, then a gap of 3 lengths back to Michelle's Girl Crush. 2/5 for the opening quarter, 30 and 2/5 seconds, and further back Colada Party is last, but right there with the rest after 3/8 of a mile here in the Mike Jones horseshoeing race for Pacers. After 3/8 of a mile, Vertical Speed shows the way. Vertical Speed is on top by 3 lengths. Through the storm is still second by that second spot. Then there's a gap of 2 lengths to Michelle's Girl Crush. Along in the fourth position, 1:02 and 3 was the time, 1:02 and then Colada Party, who is at the back. Looking forward to seeing those great action shots from Danny Brooks today. Saw her get kneeled down in the home stretch to get a different angle on these Pacers, and Danny does great work. Up the backstretch they go to the 3/4. Vertical Speed is the leader. Vertical Speed on top by a length. Side by side for second. April's Big Guy second ahead, just to the outside of Through the Storm in third. Then a gap of 3 more lengths back to Michelle's Girl Crush in fourth. 1:31 and 4 was the time, but the 3/4, 1:31 and 4. Vertical Speed is the leaders. They move around the far turn. Michelle's Girl Crush broke stride. Michelle's Girl Crush on a break. Here comes Bob Yon with Through the Storm to the outside. That is a first-time starter with veteran horseman Bob Yon. Through the Storm is coming after Vertical Speed. Vertical Speed is a stubborn foe, but Through the Storm is right there. These two down to the line, and that is close. That is a photo for the win. Either Vertical Speed or Through the Storm. We will defer to Brady Schrock, our photo finish technician, to split those two horses. April's Big Guy came across the line in third. Colada Party was fourth, and Michelle's Girl Crush fifth. 2 minutes and 2/5 was the time for the mile. 2 minutes and 2/5, and it will either be Vertical Speed or Through the Storm. We'll find out in a moment.
Let's see what Mr.
I'm going to say it's 2-1.
1:02 and 3, 1:31 and 4, 2 minutes and 2/5. Thank you. And they're going to check.
We're going right with the, you're going to see it. Past the words too, but I think one hangs on just a sec.
One more. Right there, stop for the right there. That's oh, that is tight. Inside horse, I think by just a nozzle, but I don't know.
Sure. You do that, you're going to have to go. Okay, you have to come all the way down to the right. The gate. Oh, okay. Close it when you go on.
All right, David, they're taking a look at all the angles here. I mean, we had
I tell you what, it's close.
We're going to play that again for folks so that they can take a look at that real quick. And so we did hit the replay on it, and it's right here. And we'll let you see that replay as we lost
our
camera
photo finish
one.
technician is the young man working his way out of the grandstand to come across the track. That is Brady Schrock.
It's been cycling, but it's showing up over here, so I don't know what that means.
And Brady is going to bring the iPad with the photo finish image to the stewards so they can take a
all.
look. This is a very tight photo for the win. And Brady said, you know what, it's close enough, fellas. I think you better take a look. Let's just make sure that we all see it the same way. So, very tight photo finish. So again, to our drivers, Bob Yon and Wyatt Avenetti, this photo's close enough that Brady Schrock is bringing the iPad to the judges' stand to have the stewards take a look. This is a very tight photo for the win.
Doesn't look like it.
Oh,
Wyatt
not on
Avenatti
that.
hoping
Not,
for his
not
third
probably
win
on the
card.
replay.
And Bob
On
Yon,
that
age
replay.
77.
Oh, I thought
Bob,
that's what you were
welcome
doing.
back to
Yeah,
the races.
sorry.
Good to
You're
see
fine.
you in the race bike. Waiting to see who won this race.
And so, David, a great race here as
Yes,
they take
nice
a look
round
at
of
things.
applause there. A good competitive race, cleanly contested. Just waiting for the photo.
And what did you have for the unofficial there, David?
2 minutes and 2/5.
Finish.
Oh, I don't have it. Let me try to check though.
Our photo finish technician, Brady Schrock, will be a sophomore at the high school in Athens, Illinois this fall, where he is a multi-sport athlete. As he approached the
down.
judges' stand, the
That's what I
steward
have.
said, "You're young, you've got better knees, so you can climb the stairs." And then they told him to get a haircut. And they said it with a smile. They were just teasing. But right now, Brady is presenting the iPad with the photo finish image, and our stewards are taking a look.
Okay, David, I've got the unofficial results up there.
I'll put it on the right screen for us if I hit the right button. Close call, folks. You got the replay going a couple times, and Brady's over here.
Well, that's as
That
close
was-
as you get right there.
And what a great job. You know, Kurt was talking about this was Bob Yon's first drive in 5 years. And to go out there and put in a quality mile and a driving finish in a photo, you got to feel good about that.
It's one of the great things about the sport of harness racing, and we see it in front of us right now. A driver 27 years of age who is early in his career, and a veteran horseman 77 years of age. The two drivers involved in this photo as they continue to wait along with the rest of us to see what the final word is on who indeed has won this photo finish, or if we might have a dead heat. We'll find out. Sometimes we have had folks that do not follow harness racing on a regular basis that have asked, they'll hear the term dead heat, and all that means is it's a tie. It means that it's impossible to distinguish the two, so who knows?
While we've got some time, I think Steve pointed out that Jackie Bone was running the camera of that race.
Yeah.
I don't know if she has been very much this broadcast so far since Lisa got here, but we appreciate both of them and all their great work helping us out.
Yeah, and this is, what is this, race 6?
6.
And you and Lisa would be right in this case if the one ends up winning this race.
Yeah, the 5 made a break and blew up our trifectas, but we got the other 2 close. Hate to see that horse make a break here at the home track, but things happen, and we still got an exciting mile out of it.
Again, we talk about these are horses. These are, animals.
Yes.
And anything can happen on any day. You can have a horse that's won 5 straight races, and it can break stride and end up 5th out of 5 horses.
I've seen a horse take a right-hand turn in the middle of the stretch for no reason.
Shows the winner to be by a whisker. Number 2
Nope, we were
through
wrong.
the storm.
How about that?
Bob Yon, your winning driver.
Awesome.
What a race. What a finish. We've often said that longtime race announcer Tom Durkin used to say a flared nostril. And I think that's what we had here. Just in the final stride through the storm, just does get up to win by a fraction of an inch. Bob Yon, the owner, trainer, and driver. Enoch Ehrenfold of Wisconsin bred this 3-year-old gelded son of Stevensville. Folks, how about that? First time back in the race bike
Did
in 5
any of our online
years.
people pick that?
77 years
Let
of
me look.
age, and Bob Yon rallies his horse to win by a
I
nose.
think everyone
Congratulations,
picked-
Bob.
Everyone picked Wyatt, I think.
No, I didn't, but I didn't win anything either.
Again, the time for the mile, 2 minutes and 2/5
I didn't
of
get
a
the time up
second.
there, did
2
I?
minutes and 2/5. Our thanks to Mike Jones Horseshoeing, the sponsor for that race.
There's your time, folks.
Horsemen have told us, in fact, we just had a discussion a few days ago at the Illinois State Fairgrounds with some horsemen who emphasized the importance of having a good horseshoer, a good farrier, or blacksmith. So Mike Jones, thank you. Appreciate your sponsorship in race 6. Here is the full field official rundown from the top Vertical Speed, the runner-up through the storm, was the winner. April's Big Guy was third. Colada Party fourth. Michelle's Girl Crush finished 5. The quarter in 30 and 2/5. The half was 102 and 3. 3 quarters 131 and 4. The time for the mile 2 minutes and 2/5 of a second. Reach down 2:13.45. And how about the horse through the storm? First career start and wins. Race number 7 is on the way, brought to you by our friends at Flacco Family Farms. Driver of the 2, Hope Starlene, Freddie Patton Jr. Number 2, Hope Starlene, Freddie Patton Jr., the driver.
Okay, we've talked about from the backstretch earlier today. We love hearing from you guys. That's one of our highlights of the day, is hearing from people that are watching from home, or
Absolutely.
even some people back in the barn that we loved hearing from that. Again, harnesstube at Gmail, 312-772-5122 as far as text, and chat with us, which most people have found on YouTube, and we're able to do that. We'd love to hear your favorite fair
But we don't
memory.
want to leave you out if you aren't on the chat, so shoot us a text or an email if you aren't.
And we've got some great pictures out here. People have sent us from barns all over watching the races back here
Yeah,
at
we
home.
got the Will Fongs up there on the screen now. Nicole sent those. I love seeing that there in the barn. There's Oak Grove down there in the barn area. Tyler Clemens was watching us there at the stable area.
And then my favorite.
Your favorite, Sour Grapes.
Watching on a phone.
Intently watching on a phone. And back at Oak Grove in the driver's room, we got White up there.
And then here's the second favorite.
I love this. Folks, if you have any connection to a nursing home and you think that you can maybe get the ear of the program director, mention putting on Harness Tube for them. The generation that's out there at nursing homes are typically an older generation who grew up going to the fairs and remembering seeing the horse races and whatnot. And they might enjoy it. If they don't remember, they'll enjoy maybe picking their favorites and gambling a piece of candy or a quarter or something, and just a program for activities for a assisted living home or something.
All right, as we get ready for the 7th race of the day
our
here.
9 races on a big day here at the Henry County Fair. Don't forget the truck and tractor pull rescheduled from Thursday night. Got wiped out by rain, but it carried forward to later today, so a projected start time of 4:30 to 5 p.m., but that's an estimated time, so be here early if you want to take in all of that truck and tractor pull. It's going to be fun to see that go forward here later this afternoon. Let's meet the starters for Race 7, the Flacco Family Farms NICA Northern Illinois Colt Association 3-year-old trot. Number 1 is Mississippi Model, purse of over $5,000. Did not split into Colt and filly separate divisions, so everybody goes into Race 7 for the 3-year-old trot, purse of $5,244. Number 1, Mississippi Model, owned, trained, and driven by Jerome Daniels of Springfield. 2 is Hope Starlene, owned and trained by Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi. Freddie Patton Jr. is in the bike. 3 is Hocus, Pocus, and Focus, owned by Ron Phillips of Athens, Jamaica Patton of Rochester, Jamaica, the trainer-driver. And number 4, Small Town Southern Boy, owned by Torres Tucker of Brandon, Mississippi, trained by Roshan Trigg. LaDerek Huggins is in the bike. Headed to the gate for Race 7, one note. Since this is the final NICA, Northern Illinois Colt Association race of the day, there was a decision that was made earlier this year to disband the various Colt associations around the state. Now, that might come as a shock to some who have been used to seeing the NICA dating back to 1950 at this fair. The reason for that decision was to streamline the process of getting the horsemen paid, getting money from the state into the hands of the horsemen. Also, the various colt circuits have different policies from time to time about the responsibilities of the fairs. So it was decided, let's just have one colt association. With that said, some of us are kind of sentimental at heart, so we're hoping that the Northern Illinois Colt Association and all the other colt associations won't go away entirely. We're hoping they will still have a role going forward. Right now, let's turn things over to our starter, Roy Finn, for Race 7.
Just real quick, David, as we go here, all of us picking Hocus Pocus and Focus and different lineups after that.
She's due to win, isn't she? She's been second-itis this year. So back to Kurt. Here they go.
Roy says go, and once again, off and trotting, another clean start. Just an amazing day of racing here at the Henry County Fair. Away they go in the 3-year-old trot for the NICA. Mississippi Model to the inside is challenging for the lead and has a narrow lead, but Hocus Pocus and Focus is right there on the outside to challenge as well. Then there's a problem for Hope Starlene, who broke stride. Hope Starlene made a break about midway on the first turn and is now a distant third, and difficulties also for Small Town Southern Boy, getting rough-gated here early on and is fourth and last. But no issues for the top two so far. It is Hocus Pocus and Focus leading it by a length. Mississippi Model second, 30 and 2/5 seconds. Solid opening quarter for these 3-year-old trotters, 30 and 2/5 seconds. So Hocus Pocus and Focus has the lead by 1 length. Mississippi Model goes second. Then there's a gap of better than 25 lengths as they swing around that far turn after 3/8 of a mile to Hope Starlene, and then a gap of another 25 back to Small Town Southern Boy. Halfway home in the Flacco Family Farms race for 3-year-old trotters. It is Hocus Pocus and Focus. Jamaica Patton and the race bike leading it by 1 length over Mississippi Model. 102 and 4 was the time. 102 and 4/5 seconds. After 5/8 of a mile, Hocus Pocus and Focus continues to lead, looking for career win number 10 today, but looking for her first win of 2024. That's your leader, Hocus Pocus and Focus. Mississippi Model won once a year ago, looking for her first victory of 2024 as well. These two have opened up by better than 30 lengths back to the two trailers, Hope Starlene and Small Town Southern Boy. 1:33 and 3 the time at the 3/4 mile mark. 1:33 and 3/5 around the final turn. Hocus Pocus and Focus opens up on a 3, 4, 5 length lead as they turn for home with Mississippi Model in second. We've already seen Jamaica Patton trackside as a winning trainer today. This time he's the winning trainer and he's the winning driver. Jamaica with Hocus Pocus and Focus winning it here at the Henry County Fair by some 6 lengths over Mississippi Model in the Flacco Family Farms NICA 3-year-old trot. Hope Starlene was across the line in third, and Small Town Southern Boy will be fourth. The time for the mile, 2:05 and 1/5. 2:05 and 1. The time for the mile, Hocus Pocus and Focus, your winner.
I'll bring us back up while you're typing that in. I hate to rub it in, but I think I hit that trifecta, Steve. Did you?
Well, let's see. David Brink, race number 312. Well, look at that. Lisa had 321 and I had 324.
Just call me the blind squirrel. I'll find a note every so often, right?
David Brink gets all three. That's the first trifecta other than when all three of us did it.
Right, right.
Okay.
Well, we're happy to see Hocus Pocus and Focus back in the winner's circle. We saw her so many times last year, you know, controlling these fields, and she's been a little second-itis this year. Made a couple starts and finished just out of it, you know, just out of the winner's circle. Takes the win today in a nice, big, combined field, going for a big purse of $5,244.
Another good race. I mean, up until the end, down the stretch, Hocus Pocus and Focus just pulled away, and there was no catching up for Mississippi Model on that.
Exactly. That's a nice horse. That Mississippi Model is pretty honest for Jerome. It doesn't make many breaks.
Our
Usually
thanks
hits
to the
a check.
Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, the sponsor for today's 7th race. And, of course, they stand the reigning Illinois Trotting Stallion of the Year, Lou's Legacy, who's won multiple titles as the Stallion of the Year for trotters. They also stand Danish Durango as well. And they will offer their yearly on Labor Day, Monday, September 2nd at the Illini Classic in Springfield. How about a hand for the winner of the Flacco 3, Hocus Pocus and Focus? The winner is owned, trained, and driven by Jamaica Patton of Rochester, Illinois, co-owned by Ron Phillips of Athens, Illinois, bred by the late John Carver. That's 2 wins for Jamaica as trainer, and that is 1 win for Jamaica as driver on today's card. Checking the standings, Jamaica's the only trainer to win more than 1 race today, and Wyatt Avenatti, the only driver to win more than 1 race today. Jamaica with 2 wins as trainer, Wyatt with 2 wins as driver. they lead those respective standings, but still a couple of races to go here today. Here is the full field rundown. It's official for race 7. Mississippi Model was the runner-up. Hope Starlene finished 3rd. Hocus Pocus and Focus was the winner, and Small Town Southern Boy finished 4th. The quarter in 30 and 2/5, the half in 102 and 4, 3/4 133 and 3/5. The time for the mile 2:05 and 1/5. It reached down 2:3:14. One final note about the Northern Illinois Colt Association. As we mentioned, going forward, the various colt associations around the state, they will not have the same role that they've had. They won't be as directly involved with administration of county fair stakes races. And we're all for progress, and anything that streamlines the racing program at the fairs and makes it better for everyone involved, we're all for it. With that said, those colt associations, folks, have given a lot of these fairs a distinct identity. And over the years, if you're like us, you have gotten used to identifying certain horsemen with a particular colt circuit. And sentimentality, nostalgia, yeah, we get it. That can't always be the priority, but it still can have a place. So in terms of point champions and things like that, here's hoping that the NICA and the other colt circuits will be back next year, maybe with just a slightly different role, but still involved in racing nonetheless.
When I started at DOT, I realized I could make a career out of this. It's just amazing the people you get to interact with when you get here. It's a family atmosphere for me. One of my main jobs is talking to people, trying to understand what's going on, where they're at in life, what they're needing from me to get their job done. I've met so many people, and it's been a real blessing to be a part of all that. Big company in a small town, that's a fact. When my life needed growth, I chose DOT, and I never left.
Hello, Earl Flack for your locally owned McKay Napa Auto Parts store. I'm always talking about savings, but why not? We're your local auto parts store. Yeah, I know you got choices, but those box stores, not local. How about some Napa antifreeze on sale for $8.99 for a full extended life? How about Napa full synthetic motor oil? 5-quart jug for $20.99. That's a 61% saving, or $4.49 by the quart. How about some Armor All leather car cleaner protectant, $5.49 for a container? Get the good stuff with Napa know-how.
Timewell Drainage Products is a locally owned family company that has provided incredible employment opportunities in our area for over 40 years. Our constantly growing company is always looking for dynamic individuals who want to be part of an innovative, fast-paced team. To join our team, visit us online at timewellpipe.com. Timewell Drainage Products, a proud community employer since 1982.
One of the most recognizable symbols of any county fair is the carnival, and the one here at the Henry County Fair has been up and operating throughout the course of the afternoon. It will be operating until 5 p.m. A reminder, $30 armbands and ride all you want. But this is always, for a lot of us, one of our favorite aspects of coming to the Henry County Fair. That is absolutely a classic county fair backdrop. For those of us who work from the infield judges stand, as we look across the track toward the grandstand and we see adjacent to the grandstand that carnival marked by the iconic Ferris wheel. What an absolutely magnificent backdrop. This rule setting, the fields that border the backstretch here at the Henry County Fair, it's just always a lot of fun to go racing, and we appreciate the fact that the Henry County Fair Board of Directors, we know they've got a lot on their plate. They've had so much work to do this week alone, much less the rest of the year. So folks, if you enjoy harness racing at the Henry County Fair, let your fair board know it. How about a round of applause for our fair board for keeping racing as part of this fair? Well done.
All right, David, let's talk about this next to last race here. You're picking the 3-horse, which would be Ashley's Little Angel, to win this. I picked it for second. Lisa picked it for third. We all picked, we only had 3 horses. And so the 1 horse you picked for second, Sweet Vivian.
Yeah.
And third, the 2 horse, Babe's Image. I went with Babe's Image first. Ashley's Little Angel 3, and Sweet Vivian in the 3rd spot. Lisa went 2, 1, 3 on her picks.
Well, you guys picked up a pretty good driver with Casey in the bike. He's the leading driver in Illinois for about the last 10 years. So That doesn't hurt your case at all.
Yeah, so
I was listening to Kurt. I forgot he's down, but yeah.
Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi, the driver, LaDerek Huggins. Headed to the gate, or headed for the start, I should say, for race 8.
I want to thank everybody for subscribing and being a part of things with Harness Tube as we continue to grow.
We're going to
here.
the 8th race. Stay tuned, folks. After the 9th, we're going to figure out how to hook up this drawing and get that drawing spun for us so we can give out that money.
Yeah.
After the 9th race. Got a nice comment here from Scott. Congratulating the fair board. Such a nice, what a little thing Kurt said, talking about how beautiful the setting is here and how great, the fair board's been to all the horsemen and putting on a nice program for us, and we can't express how much we appreciate it. No one has to race horses, and those are the people that choose to race horses. We want to make sure we thank them.
Well, and the other thing I want to say today, they moved the harness racing to Sunday.
The turn getting ready for the start. Once again, we turn things over to start.
Something like that, yeah.
So they meant to have less obstacles for us.
Field off the first turn. Field coming down for the start. They are off and trotting. Water Truck is at the midpoint of the backstretch. Horseman, Water Truck at the midpoint of the backstretch. Around the turn, Water Truck at the end of the backstretch should be exiting right at the end of the backstretch at the quarter pole. The field of 2 year up the backstretch, and the Water Truck indeed leaves the racing surface, so we're clear. And at the quarter-mile mark, it's going to be number 3 who shows the way. Ashley's Little Angel is on top as they race on by. 29 and 4 was the time for the opening quarter. 29 and 4/5 seconds. Should have mentioned, by the way, Michael Cox. So please make note of that. Michael Cox is the driver. So as everything sorts out and settles down after 3/8 of a mile here in the Balaguer excavating race, it is Ashley's Little Angel, Michael Cox, leading it by a length and a half. Sweet Vivian goes second for Wyatt Avenatti by a length, and then Babe's Image is racing a close third. No one steps out of line behind the leader, though, so far, and Ashley's Little Angel guides the field past the halfway point here in the free-for-all pace. 1:03 and 2 was the time for the half. So the opening quarter was 29 and 4, then the half in 1:03 and 2. So obviously they backed off the throttle through that second quarter, but now the tempo picks up again as they hit the backstretch and head toward the three-quarter. Here comes Babe's Image. Casey Leonard pulls the trigger from third to go to second, and now will challenge for the lead as they approach the three-quarter-mile mark. It is Ashley's Little Angel with the lead by a length, and Babe's Image is second upon the outside, and then Sweet Vivian racing third. 1:33 and 4 the time at the three-quarters, 1:33 and 4/5. Around the final turn they go. Ashley's Little Angel opens up on a 5-length lead for owners Flacco Family Farms and Roshan Trigg, and it is Michael Cox in the race bike about to pick up his second win on the card. He checks over his shoulder. This pacing mare has things well in hand. Ashley's Little Angel to win the Balaguer excavating race in race 8. It was Ashley's Little Angel winning it by nearly 5 lengths over Babe's Image in second, then a gap of another 15 lengths. Sweet Vivian across the line in third. Time for the mile, 2:02 and 2/5. 2:02 and 2/5. Your winner, number 3, Ashley's Little Angel. Again, Michael Cox, your winning driver.
David, since the coin, you are on a hot streak.
I don't know
what is going on?
These 3-horse fields are a little easier sometimes.
Yeah, but you've picked 1, 2.
When there's no
3,
money on the line,
4,
I'm
5
game.
winners today, and I have 1 or 2, and Lisa has 2. And well, wait a second. We all picked this one.
And I forgot to give you guys the program ahead of time, so you were a little blind in your picks.
Yeah.
I'll give you a free pass on those.
See what he does to us, folks? No, I take that back. We'll
meet the winner of race 8 in just a moment. Then, of course, race 9. the final race on the card yet to come. So it's been great to have you with us, folks, for this Sunday afternoon racing
figure
card.
out
And again,
this
a lot more to come
HDMI
here
over
at the
here,
Henry
so
County Fair today.
Okay.
With the
we're gonna lose my
truck and
monitor.
tractor pull rescheduled from Thursday night after the rainfall.
Should be able to just pull
so
the
we
plug
hope you'll
and
be able to join us
in a perfect
lot
world.
more
in
fun
that
coming up
third
here
spot.
at the fair this afternoon and this evening.
Turn that off.
Okay, as we get ready to go here, again, right after this race, we are going to do a drawing for a $100 gift certificate. And that will come from Harness Tube from Designed by Des. And she's doing some cool stuff out there, isn't she? With
She
race
just
helmets
made a new post at the Springfield races. They had a nice photographer there and got some really good quality shots. And there was a couple
Our
of
thanks
shots
to Balaguer
with really good
Excavating
photos
in
of
Geneseo.
helmets
You
that
can visit
she's
them.
done. So I want to promote her helmets and before we give away this $100.
Number 3, Ashley's Little Angel. The winner is owned by the Flacco Family Farms, LLC of Alexis, Illinois, of Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco and Rick and Tabby Flacco. Co-owned by the trainer Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi. And this is a homebred for those connections. The winning driver, Michael Cox. How about a hand for number 3, Ashley's Little Angel? This winning mare, a 4-year-old daughter of Ashley's Big Guy out of TJ's April Angel by Park Place. 12th career win. She's got earnings approaching $75,000. A winner earlier this year at the Paramutuals at Oak Grove down in Kentucky, down near the Tennessee border, and makes a return to the county fair circuit for the first time in 2024, and indeed a successful return. Michael Cox becomes the...
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
This afternoon, in case you happen to join us late. Earlier today, the Flacco Family Farms co-owner of Lou of I, who was a winner in race 3 this afternoon. So congratulations to the Flacco gang.
Sounds great.
Here's the full field rundown. It's official for race 8. From the top, Sweet Vivian finished 3. Babe's Image, the runner-up, and Ashley's Little Angel was the winner. 29-4 at the quarter, the half 103-2, 3/4 133-4, and the time for the mile 2:02 and 2/5. Last quarter in 28-3 for a mile in 2:02 reads down 3:21. That brings us to the 9th and final race. A reminder, Casey Leonard will drive the 4 Sports Madness. Casey Leonard drives number 4 Sports Madness, and we owe you that driver change on the 2 scorecard Lily. Horseman, a reminder, if you would be so kind as to return your saddle pad numbers to the area where you picked them up earlier today, we would appreciate your help. Thank you on behalf of our racing office staff.
All right, David.
Looking at the 9th race here, aren't we?
Yes, we are, and
We don't have that driver yet, but do you want to go ahead and talk about our picks?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the picks. Let's see. Lisa and David both picked the 6-horse U.S. Arc, driven by Wyatt Avanetti today. Any history on that horse, David?
That's just a nice hypnotic blue chip 3-year-old. I've seen him race a couple times. You know, the experience in there, the quality miles, that horse in with White on a fair, it's just tough to beat. So got to put him on top.
I went with scorecard Lily just to be different.
And we don't even have a driver yet, so you're really rolling the dice on
Well,
that one.
I've got Mike Brink put in there because that was somebody's best guess.
It might be Mike Cox or Mike Brink.
I thought it was Mike Brink.
I don't think Mike Brink's here. I haven't seen him
Yeah,
today.
okay, but it's Mike Cox.
Mike Cox has been doing a lot of driving for Jamaica. I don't know if he's going to drive for Les Miller, but we'll see who's on when we get out there.
I could take, let's see, what's the driver from up north, from Wisconsin that was?
Oh, Gabe. Is Gabe out there?
I don't know. I'd take him to drive this horse right now.
Looking at the camera. Oh. Okay. We might be Mike Cox on that one, so if that's your best guess, let's go with that, and we'll change it if we have to.
All right.
Good story about Mike. Tragic story about Mike is he was in a motorcycle accident a few years back and spent a lot of time in a hospital recovering. We're happy to see him back on the track racing these horses and healthy and competitive as ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Making some changes over there while we wait for the horses to come out here. I want to thank you all for joining us today. It's been a blast. Been a nice day. Deal with some adversity, but that comes with everything, right? We just got to get over it.
Yeah, you got thrown into the fire this morning.
Something like that.
You know, as we said earlier, David's got a full-time job, so during the week, I'm the guy that usually shows up to get things scouted out and done so that he can stay working as long as he possibly can. But today is my day to work, which is pastoring a church, and we have 8:30 worship, so sermon was short today.
That's okay.
I appreciate that.
We don't ever want to take you away from your congregation. You know how important you are to them, so.
Racing at the Henry County Fair, and always fun to see horsemen over in the stable area, whether they are competing or whether they are just here to observe and enjoy the fair and enjoy the races. So had a chance to see a number of folks, including Dwight and Terry Banks, combined 1,000 wins as harness horse drivers. So always fun to come to the Henry County Fair. It brings back a lot of memories, fun to trade stories and reminisce, and it's always great to see this great sport of harness racing continuing to be part of the fair circuit here in northern Illinois. Getting ready for the 9th and final race, Todd Pudick Horseshoeing, your presenting sponsor for this final race on the card.
Nope, they're not there yet, are they?
Not quite.
I can't see well enough. But good to have Dwight and Terry Banks here. Kurt just mentioned them.
Stay tuned for the drawing afterwards. We're going to go over our schedule. We're going to do the drawing and thank our donors again. We thank everybody who helps us with Harness Tube.
And we have the drawing up, so all we got to do is go to it, hit the button, and we'll get our winner selected.
And folks, you know, honestly, we're trying to get better and better. You notice some things change around as we try to perfect what we're doing.
Lily.
It's kind of cool to be able to throw up those chats when we get them onto the screen so everyone can kind of see them, you know. That's been a new gadget we got the legend, Junior Patton, up here with us now. We should get a headset on him pretty soon.
Yeah, we can let him give some commentary to a race.
Let him call a race to be great.
The two should be along very shortly. We will go ahead and parade the field to the post for race 9.
It's all right, we'll take it, man. You good.
Headed to the post for the 9th and final race, non-winners of 2 races or $5,000 lifetime for Pacers for a purse of $1,000. Sponsor Todd Pudick Horseshoeing. And a reminder that in this race, Casey Leonard drives number 4, Sports Madness. And the 2 horse will join the field in just a moment. Scorecard Lily. Number 1 is Rockin' Legal, owned by Jerome Daniels of Springfield. He's the trainer driver. 2 is Scorecard Lily, owned by Green Acres LLC of Beecher, and Mike Klimas of Oaklawn, Illinois, trained by Leslie Millard. Again, there's a driver change that will be announced shortly. 3 Reserve Parking, owned, trained, and driven by Justin Robertson of Galesburg, co-owned by Lori Van Fleet of Galesburg. 4 is Sports Madness, owned by Carol and Diane Hayes of Williamsville, trained by Carol Hayes. Contrary to the program, the driver is Casey Leonard. Number 5, 2 Infinity, owned by Dwayne and Sarah Jean Bloom of Byron, trained by Dwayne Bloom. Bob Yon is in the race bike. And number 6, USS Arc, is owned by Charles and Christopher Krummick of Chicago, trained by Christopher Krummick. The driver is Wyatt Avenetti. Number 2, Scorecard Lily. The driver will be Michael Cox. Scorecard Lily, the driver, Michael Cox. Again, horsemen, if you would be so kind as to return your saddle pad numbers at the conclusion. Appreciates your help very, very much. Another fantastic year. Counting, simply amazing. Been a great week, and despite a few challenges with the weather along the way, everybody pitching in to help out and make and all. Field is forming up over on the far turn. And ladies and gentlemen, it hasn't been the most ideal of the warm summer sun and started these races. How about a hand for Mr. Roy Finn, your official starter? Thank you, Roy. We'll turn things over to Roy right now for the start of race 9. In our finale, the Todd Pudick horseshoeing race, and there goes Rockin' Legal right out for the early in the second position as they swing around the first turn and race toward. And the race bike travels in the third position. Sports Madness takes to the outside and starts moving from fourth, now taking third, 3 lengths off the lead though, then a gap of 3 more lengths back to 2 in to Reserve Parking, who is the trailer. 31 seconds for the seconds. Been good to have the ambulance from the Cambridge Fire Protection District position just off the head of the stretch, off the far turn. Appreciate them standing by patiently throughout the course of this card. Thank you, one and all. Here they come now to the half for our 9th and final race. Madness is making a race of it, moving up on the outside to challenge Rockin' Legal for the top spot. So Rockin' Legal is the leader. Rockin' Legal is on top by just 1 length. Sports Madness second by a head. USS Arc sneaks back up the inside from third, regains second, 101 and 2 for the half, 101 and 2/5. That means Sports Madness now will find himself in the third position, still toward the outside as they work their way around the turn and onto the backstretch, 3 lengths off the lead. Then a gap of 6 more lengths back to 2 Infinity, who moves up in fourth around the outside of Scorecard Lily, who's lost ground in fifth, and Reserve Parking last of the 6 as they work their way past the 3/4. Rockin' Legal is still the leader. Rockin' Legal on top by a length and a half. 131 flat, the time of the 3/4, 131. USS Arc is in second position, and Sports Madness is third, still there, still trying, still 3 lengths off the lead though as they turn for home. Rockin' Legal has the advantage. Sports Madness far outside. USS Arc between them. What a way to wrap up the races here today. They're 3 across the track. Sports Madness far outside. USS Arc between horses. USS Arc wins it by a half length. USS Arc prevails in that 3-way scramble down the stretch. Sports Madness was second by a length, and then Rockin' Legal was third and was followed by 2 Infinity, who came across the line in fourth, and then Scorecard Lily was fifth, and Reserve Parking finished sixth. .202 and 1/5. 202 and a 5th. We'll meet the winner in just a moment.
Okay, David, we got the unofficial results. The 6 horse, the one you and Lisa picked.
USS Arc.
And in second place, the 4 horse. Nobody got that. In third place, the 1 horse, picked by all 3 of us. So you and Lisa win that one. It's good to see that she got a total of 3 for the day.
Well, one of
I got a total of 3 for the day.
Oh, I thought she picked better than you. I was just giving you crap. Okay. Well, good.
And then David Brink with a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 9 races.
Just call me
today.
an ATM. That's all.
Oh, jeez.
Just giving out cash left and right.
Picked them down at DeCoin. What'd you pick? What you got? 25% at DeCoin. Your percentage is going up.
Oh, I was sandbagging last year.
Would you please start betting on these races so that my percentage will go up and yours will go down?
We need to, don't we?
Yeah. Yep. And so with that, we're at the end of this race. Here we go.
Lisa Surratt and Jackie Bowen operating the camera across the way in the grandstand for the live stream today. Our friends at Harness Tube bringing live coverage of the Henry County Fair at Cambridge to our audience online. We appreciate that very much. And of course, right here in the infield judges stand, Steve Surratt and David Brink anchoring the broadcast. Check them out on Facebook and look at their schedule. They're going to cover a lot more racing this summer. So to the men and women of Harness Tube, job well done. Great to have you with us here today. Returning in front of the stands, here's the winner of race number 9. And how about this? 3 driving wins on the day to lead all drivers. His name is Wyatt Avenetti. The horse is USS Arc. How about a hand for the winner? And our thanks to Todd Pudick Horseshoeing. We talked about this earlier today, the importance, the horsemen tell us all the time about the importance of a good blacksmith, a good farrier, to keep those feet sound and healthy and get the right angles and get everything done properly when it comes to shoeing these racehorses. Probably part of the game a lot of us take for granted until you talk to a horseman and they say never underestimate the value of a good horseshoer. So thank you, Todd Pudick, and congratulations to the Crummick family. That is Charles and Christopher from Chicago, Illinois. The winning owners, Christopher, the trainer, and Wyatt Avanetti of Chrisman, Illinois, the driver, Kyle and Amy Houston, the breeders of the 3-year-old gelding by Hypnotic Blue Chip USS Arc. Here's the full field rundown. It's official for the 9th race. Rockin' Legal finished 3. Scorecard Lily was 5. Reserve Parking finished 6. Sports Madness, the runner-up. 2 Infinity finished 4th. And USS Arc, the winner. The opening quarter, 31 flat, the half in 101 and 2. 3 quarters, 131, and the time for the mile, 202 and a fifth. It reads down 356, 241. Folks, thanks for being with us. A lot more yet to come today at the Henry County Fair, and don't forget a lot more.
Okay, with that, we want to thank Kurt Becker for the announcing. He's easy to work with, makes our job really easy.
Folks, if those of us in Illinois, Kurt is one of the best in the country. His professionalism is immaculate. I mean, we were so lucky to have him here.
Okay, let's talk really quick before we go to the drawing. Hold the people here. Our next up, and I guess I didn't change this last slide. I'm sorry about that, David.
It's all right.
We're in Rushville next Sunday at 5 o'clock.
Correct.
That'll be some great racing over there. And then we're at Knoxville about a week later. But check our schedule out. David's got it on Facebook.
We're getting people trying to ask to add dates, and we're trying to see what we can squeeze in. So we're always adding more, always trying to add more.
I want to thank our advertisers. We're on because people advertise with us.
And our donors.
And our donors. We thank them for that. That helps keep it for free. Please advertise with us. Now time for the big
If you're ready,
David. Yeah, let's
do it. Let's
switch
cut over to the
that screen.
And up on the screen here we have a list of all of our followers, subscribers in a big wheel. We're going to click the button and spin to see who wins a $100 giveaway to Designed by Des. Let's go.
There's the spinning going on it, and the winner.
We did the wrong one. Well, let's. I don't know what that was all about. We're going to cancel that one because I have the wrong screen up.
Okay.
So we're going to do this. I don't know why I had 2 of them, but I have 2 of them and I can't see my screen now. Hold on, bear with me. There we go. Nope, I can't. My mouse is too small. There we go. Now let's see what we're dealing with here. I'm working on a really tiny screen, so bear with me here, folks. Now we're going to click the button and see who wins. If I can read it this small, we'll see. The big winner is Krista Henry. Krista Henry wins $100 to Designed by. Give us a call, text, email, whatever you got, and we will get you your $100 gift card.
Krista Henry, again, the closing to the Henry County Fair. We're glad to be
How
up here
appropriate.
in Cambridge.
Krista Henry at the Henry
County Fair. I mean, that's like a Flacco horse winning and the Flacco ad coming up, right?
It happens sometimes, doesn't it?
It happens. Well, for David Brink, Steve Surratt, Lisa Surratt, and Jackie Bowen, we want to say good night, goodbye, God bless, drive home, and we'll see you at the racetrack.